So, before we even really get into the movie, is this a bust?
No,
Because they're saying 210 million now worldwide, and they said for domestic, it's now down to like 115 to 121 million.
Well, the number for production keeps changing. They keep changing it. So we don't know.
What is it? What is it sort of jumped around? What have they said?
Well, here's the problem: is you had what was it? I can't remember if it was Variety or Hollywood Reporter put out some report where they had gotten something from a tax refund thing that they were claiming the budget was like over $300 million.
I believe.
I don't buy that. I was told it was closer to 180. They're saying 225 with advertising and stuff. I can see like 225, 50, 250.
I just think with this, with how much they've bullshitted around budgets in more recent times in regards to being transparent with it, and what we've seen budgets being, I wouldn't put it past the fact that it was over 300 million.
I would, because David Zaslav. There's no way. There is no way in.
I think so. They needed the W. Nope. They needed the W. It's a Superman movie.
To do it cheaper. That was the whole thing.
Look at the amount of CGI that is in this movie.
Some of it's not very good either.
And I mean, some of it's not very good as well. But like, look at the amount of it. You don't think that they spent 300 million on this?
No, I was seeing
they didn't even spend $1 million per actor. Only Nicholas Hoult got $2 million. Right?
He got $2 million.
David got $5.
Surprisingly,
he's the bigger name.
And Rachel got paid the same. Why the f are Lois and Clark making the same money? First off, there should be pay gap.
He's Superman. She should be making more than him, actually, because she's a bigger star.
Name. Yeah.
Really? Oh, yeah, he's kind of a nobody, right?
He's only been in like Twisters and a couple other things.
He was a nobody, and she was in that Miss Mabel TV show.
Yeah, she started in the Marvelous Mrs. Mabel.
I think she did a better job. I think she acted better in this than he did.
Oh, we got.
I liked her character more than Superman.
That's crazy.
I don't know about that one.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that either.
I thought she was a great Lois. I liked her as Lois.
As far as numbers go, I was seeing close to 300, like Rhino said, or more. But then just a few days ago, it was like, 180 million. But
this 180 million seems
she was way better than Deadpan.
Where did
the
that
last
come
one.
from? Where did the 180 come from?
180 million seems to be the thing that we're getting for the last couple of movies. Oh yeah, it was only 180 million, 180 million, 180 million. That seems to be just
that was what I was told by my actual guy from inside. So like that's the thing, and I would believe it, because here's the other thing: is they just tell you what the original projected budget is. They don't tell you what they actually spend on these movies, and we've learned that time and time again. But the only reason I say I don't think they spent that much is because the whole goal of this was to bring the cost down of these things, because that's what David Zaslav was bitching about. Was that these movies should be floating the company, but the reason they're not is because they're spending $250 million a movie. That's the thing. This movie cost almost $100 million less than Man of Steel to make, basically, with inflation. Right? And
I'm just not buying it.
I thought this was 225 after tax breaks.
That's
hold on. Wait. Let me bring on
after tax breaks.
I need to bring on Verbal Riot.
Man of Steel is a better movie.
Listen to your friend here. He knows what he's talking about. I don't think you really want to go to South Africa.
Why not?
Because you're black.
You are. He is.
He is.
South Africa.
Because you're
black.
What's happening, y'all?
Yo.
Who said Man of Steel is a better movie? Not true. Thank you.
That is very not true.
I mean, I'm glad he's actually speaking truth.
That's crazy.
Somebody needed to
y'all got to stop this revision.
Man of Steel is not even a Superman movie.
Man of Steel.
Hang on.
Jesus movie.
Superman Returns.
Emo Jesus of Steel.
Superman Returns.
A lot of
Superman
nonsense.
Returns is a better movie.
Oh,
get the fuck out of here, Rick. Get the fuck out of here, you motherfucker.
No, I'm not going to take a single thing you say seriously from here on out, just so you know.
Yeah, the dude that makes a continent, he wants a continent full of no life on there and to make billions of dollars. Yeah, that movie's better than this one. Please don't.
I forgot all about Superman Returns.
There's like two things in that movie I like. One was Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor.
Yes.
Yeah, the
that
first
was
half
great.
is fine. Yeah, it's once it goes.
And I like that
into
scene. I like that scene where he stops the bank robbers and that bullet bounces off his eye.
Yeah, that's great. And then
That's
he becomes like
cool.
super stalker the rest of the film.
Yeah, the rest of the movie is him stalking.
Yeah.
And he stalks
I
Lois.
sleep last night.
I was just watching with my X-ray vision while you that guy. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you know,
Oh my God! Into that kind of stuff. I thought.
Nolan, you madman!
Take inspiration from Superman Returns, because what happens after that island gets built? It splits, right? Doesn't the Earth split?
Yeah.
The Earth headed towards Metropolis.
Yeah, correct.
That's
Correct.
And real quick, this Tom, this as a tier list of Superman movies, he puts Superman Returns as a C.
Well,
again,
look,
I'm going to
I would
say
actually
this
say that that's
500th time. It's not just my list. I wish you'd get that.
Whose channel is it?
Does the fuck matter? The first half of the movie's fine, and compared to some of the other shit that's underneath it, that's what you're just like everybody who's talking about this movie, leaving out all the context.
Superman Returns.
You realize that the movies that were underneath
Yeah.
it were like
Superman Return.
Superman 4, right? Like you're talking like
When I mowed my lawn today,
or
Tom, and I ran over some of my dog shit, and when I was spraying it off with the wheel, I was thinking the entire time how much this reminds me of Superman Returns.
Dude,
Okay, now
that movie
just
sucked
girl.
ass, man. Superman 4 was better than Superman Returns.
No,
Yes.
I'd rather watch The Quest for
It wasn't as
Peace.
bad as I remember.
Yeah.
By a hot mile.
Yeah, at least it's got Christopher Reeves.
I don't even remember what level they were.
And
'cause it's
Gene
not my
Hackman.
choice,
Hey,
so.
I still stand. Like, maybe not Superman Returns, but I still stand with the fact that Man of Steel is a better movie than this Superman.
Oh, absolutely
No,
not.
It
no,
is.
no,
Yeah,
No,
that's-
yes.
it definitely is.
Other than
Rhino's
the way,
right.
other than the way
Rhino's right.
Park Kent dies, other than the way Park Kent dies, because I completely hate that. But other than that, Man of Steel, I think, is a better.
It's all
movie.
they have,
It's
Rhino.
not even
It's
That's
the
the
one
only
point that they bring
argument.
up over and
That
over
is the
again.
only
It's the
argument.
one point that
It
they
is,
bring up
Kata.
over and
It
over
is,
again.
Kata.
It's not. Man,
It's all
where
Katie's
Henry
been talking
Cavill-
about on social
Henry
media.
Cavill
Kata,
gets
you don't
for
have another
days.
argument.
Henry
It's the
Cavill
only
gets
thing
his
he
ass
has.
with the entire
Amy
film.
Adams
as well.
sucks.
Wait, hold on.
Amy
We need to
Adams
listen
is
to
a
what
shit
Kata just said.
garbage Lois.
We just need to listen to
I
what
mean,
Kata just said.
Amy Adams
Henry
dressed
Cavill gets his
very
ass
well
beat
in
the
her
entire
movie.
movie.
He did.
What do you
Lois
think Superman
Lane-
does in
Lois
this movie?
Lane,
Lois
at
Lane
least
This movie
looks
is Superman
like a
ass kicked the
professional
movie.
feminine reporter.
Nah.
All right,
Yes,
all
it
right.
is.
Hang on.
All the time.
Chunky
Do you not
blue
forget he got
Lois.
kicked
All right, we
into
need
a
order.
seat?
We need order
He
here.
gets kicked
Hang
in
on,
the
hang on.
balls.
Let me ask you a question.
by himself.
One at
Flash,
a time.
hang on. Let me ask a question here.
He kicks
We're-
his own
He
ass
gets
in the
kicked
movie.
balls by a retarded Superman, bro.
We're
that was
obviously
cool.
getting right into this. We're off the box
Defeated by
office
a
thing.
retarded Superman.
James Gunn's idea of simplifying the plot was just to make everyone around
So-
Superman mentally deficient.
He makes
Literally.
everybody better.
His
He
mom
makes
and
the
dad
entire
can barely
Justice
talk
Gang
their-
better. They
I
become
know
better
Rhino
heroes
question.
because of him.
Clark.
To
I
answer
become
Rhino's
better
question,
heroes
I've never
because
seen
of
a
him.
better simple Jack impression.
Who did Man of
than
Steel
listening to
impress?
Patriot talk
Who
that
did he
movie.
inspire? He
But
made
dude-
everybody cry.
That's like saying Bizarro is a retarded Superman. I mean, yeah, maybe,
Yes, he
but
is.
That essentially is his take
That
on
is
Bizarro.
Bizarro.
yeah, and
Here,
okay,
this is like,
what
time
are
out,
we
time out.
complaining about? We're getting Bizarro.
This is the one
point.
thing I want to get off the table right away. I am so sick and
But then-
tired of hearing nothing but all he does is get his ass kicked in this movie. He got his ass kicked once and a half. That is it.
The
I'm
entire
so
movie.
tired of
How many times
hearing
did he
it.
fight in the movie?
The entire movie.
The second time he
throughout
let
the
me
rest
fucking
of it.
finish. Shut the fuck
But he
up.
doesn't. Hang on.
The other character with another character. Okay,
Tom,
I'm sick
hang on.
of hearing this shit.
Hang on, Tom.
He
Tom,
gets the fuck out of Ultraman with the
Tom.
engineer.
And have a heart
Literally.
attack.
Tom.
I'm sick
Hang
of
on a
telling
second.
everybody-
This combo's off to a
for
good
like
start.
20 minutes.
Yeah. It's all good. We're all having fun. This is the thing.
I haven't started having fun yet.
I do not want to hear one more time that all Superman does is get his ass kicked in this movie.
No, but
because
hang
it's-
on a
does.
second.
You guys
Tom,
gonna
hang on a
scream out
second.
his
Tom.
ass?
And you're
He
going to hear it. You're going to hear it
might
more.
not get his he might not get his ass kicked every time, but every time he needs help in some way, shape,
Right.
or form.
Tell me
he
how.
needs support.
Tell me how,
He needs,
please.
But that
in-
does
in-
happen as well, yes.
Hang on, in
And
every,
Rhino's also
circum- in
right.
every circumstance.
Because he
hang
asked
on.
for help at the end.
He doesn't
needs
ask
help?
for
No,
help.
I
In
will say
every
this, the only
circumstance, does
person-
he?
The only person that he beats with no help is the engineer, is the woman. That is
And
the only
Ultraman.
one he beats
And
without
Ultraman.
help.
Ultraman.
He
No,
has
no,
crypto
no,
help.
man.
No, wait, I'm
Crypto
sorry.
He had
comes
crypto
in.
show up to help
Crypto
him.
comes in to help beat
drones. He doesn't do anything else. I've got see.
Right.
He
There's
no
fucking context.
He literally runs into him. He whistles for Crypto.
Crypto is the one that beat Ultraman.
One fucking time.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's not one time. To answer Rhino's question about the box office real quick, is this movie going to hit $1 billion? I don't think so, because at this point, it's competing against Jurassic Park, and in a few weeks, it's going to compete against Fantastic Four. I think it's going to get close to $1 billion, but it's not quite going to hit it.
I think it's going to make. I think it's going to make 600 million.
I think that's actually. I think that's closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
In between 6 and 7, I don't think it's
So
go higher
okay,
than
we've obviously gotten
and also
right
the budget
into
for this movie of 225 after what is it called after
tax
credits or whatever.
credits,
That's
yeah.
from Variety, so that's where that comes from.
Yeah, okay. I'll like I never really believe the budgets anymore. Like it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we've basically got right into this conversation straight off the bat. A lot of yelling, a lot of talking over each other. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight, guys, but let's just go through, I reckon, individually, give a very brief synopsis of your thoughts on the thing and then a rating. And then we'll get I think that's a good idea, don't you? Verbal.
Sure.
What did you think? And a rating, please.
I'm sorry, repeat that again.
Wait. Hold on a second. Before we do anything, Rhino, the clock has ticked.
Okay.
Because Nolan came in too, so we've got like 5 more shots on deck. Nolan just keeps them coming, man.
Yeah, he does.
So Nolan, I don't know what Nolan does, but this dude, he's got to be like a baller or something.
He sells drugs.
Shots first. That's right. Someone in the chat just goes, "Yeah, shots first." This movie. Cheers, Nolan.
Cheers.
What'd you say?
I have no alcohol in the house. I'm kind of depressed about that.
That's all right.
No. You drank it all after watching Superman. I get it.
All right, now hold on. Now we have to be able to let people talk when they talk too.
All right, Ryan, what was the question?
But wait. Hold on. Nolan says for $50.
Oh, Jesus.
Woo! Dropped phone in the lake last weekend. Hey, Rhino. That sucks.
That's what happened. Hey, dude.
I remember, like, I've only done this once, and it wasn't a lake. I was at Cedar Point, and I dropped my phone in the hotel toilet.
Oh no, that's the worst. Like, drop it in.
You gotta
It's
call
almost
it
like a
after
public toilet. There's only one thing worse, and that's
No, I ran to the Sandusky Myers and bought rice and left it in rice all night and actually fixed it.
Yeah,
now it did actually kill the like. I swear the battery lost half its life from that drop.
It probably did. Yeah, I probably shorted out a little bit.
Yeah, but other than that, it worked. So, cheers.
I
also
already
sold it.
I had it as soon as we came back. I gotta pour another one though. Oh, this is gonna get messy, man.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Need to make a
It's gonna be a hot stream.
Listen to Steph
But-
laughing at me.
Let's make sure everybody can finish.
All right,
their
Rhino,
points.
what were you saying? What were we asking?
All right. So let's just go across the panel. No interruptions. A very brief synopsis of what you thought of the movie and a rating.
Okay, yeah. Let's give everybody a chance to talk. Let's start
No
with Rhino.
No. Start with verbal at the end.
All right, we'll start with verbal.
That's fine. Look, man. Like at the end of the day, this movie was fun. That's it. It was just fun. I wasn't expecting gold here, right? I was expecting a decent Superman movie. That's what we got. I think a lot of people are forgetting that this is a year 3 Superman. I don't know. I feel like I have to repeat that so many times. This is year 3 Superman. He's not OP yet. Okay, he's not doing the shit he does when he's like 40, right? Like Superman gets stronger as he gets older. So we're dealing with a younger Superman. So once we can accept that, it was actually just a fun film, right? Sure, there were some problems. I didn't like the whole harem thing, even though, let's be real here, what chick would want to Superman, right? But regardless,
Every woman wants to bang
matter.
Superman.
Except
Except
for
for
Lois. Except for this Superman.
Lois is
Rather.
That's bullshit.
Shut up, Flash.
Outside of that, I'm going to say right now, I did not like what they did with Jor-El and his mom. I felt like that was a little. I think James Gunn needs to fix that.
I think it's going to be bullshit.
You can rake them, Cal. You can
It
rake
doesn't
them.
matter. It wasn't bullshit in the movie.
I guarantee you that's gonna get retconned out.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
Fucking
Brainiac.
we're talking about this
Hold
movie.
on,
We're talking about this movie, though. Hold on. Verbal. Give us
Verbal got to finish.
Honestly,
Yeah.
give us a rating.
For me, it's a solid 7. It's a solid 7.
Okay, Kaida.
Well, I don't want to say like it's just like a turn your brain off kind of movie because I can't watch movies like that. I see all of the problems that the film has. You know, like the Jarrell
it's got
thing.
problems.
The Jarrell thing is unforgivable. There's no way around that. You know, even if they retcon it later, it doesn't matter. In isolation with this film, it's just a slap in the face of the character. I absolutely hated that with every fiber of my being. I also despise Crypto, that stupid mutt. I'm so tired of that dog. Every time he showed up, I groaned, and there was a guy in front of me who was like, "Oh my god, he's just like my dog." That shit pissed me off. I hated Crypto the whole film. You know, but yeah, the story is shallow. You know, it is kind of hollow. It's all surface level. That's how I feel. The film is very surface level, and we feel like we just got dropped into a film, like a story that's already been happening, and we just dropped in right at the halfway point of the story. Like we don't get that first shot of him, you know, going against not, you know, Palestine or whatever in the other country. We don't get to see that. You know, we don't get to see how that gets resolved. We don't get to see him fighting the dude first and then getting his ass whooped and having to go back. Like you just get dropped right into the action. But even with it all being surface level, you know, and it all being a little shallow, some characters really didn't need to be there. Like Hawk Girl, what was she doing? Just screaming the whole time. What is Cat Grant? She just
She's
has nice
sexy
titties.
though.
Yeah, she looks nice. And Cat Grant, you know,
The engineer is sexy too, like not in the movie though.
Oh, so is Cat Grant.
Yeah, they all look good.
Yeah,
That's
there's a lot of
it.
sexy women in it.
That's about it, and that's what I'm saying. It was all
All
surface
right.
level,
I
but
see some
being
titties.
surface level, it was good. You know, it was a
And a
fun
rating?
time to watch. I would give it a solid 6.5. You know, like I would
6.5.
watch it again. I would watch it over Man of Steel, obviously.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm with you on that. I'm not a
Lit
huge
Dev.
Snyder guy. Lit Dev.
Yes. Go for it.
I quite enjoyed the movie quite a bit. I thought it was like finally a return to what Superman should be. This guy who's actually caring about people, because he spends a lot of time caring about people during that movie. I like the comic book feel to it. It wasn't Superman is Jesus again, and it wasn't depressing. It wasn't dark. I like the positive nature of Superman's character in this one, and the internal conflict that he has. Overall, I think it was a really fun movie. It wasn't perfect, and it definitely wasn't Shakespeare. But I think I would say it's around a 6 or 7, something like that for me.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good overall.
All right, Beardo.
I thought my bit was going to be longer than most of yours, but I'm glad that Kata went before me. I think the conversation on Twitter about the copium to understand and appreciate this movie is weak. That you need to go in with a mindset that this is a movie made for kids. And Rhino, I told you I was going to bring up Star Wars into this. It's the same
It is a movie made for kids, though.
But that's the problem. That's a weak.
Is that a problem, though? I mean, that's
Well,
what,
hold on,
Don't
hold
you
on.
want to get the kids so you can hook them?
Listen,
Totally
hold on.
agree. There's a
It
whole
is-
lesbian
we're not-
love thingy.
Hang on.
It's-
We're giving
We're
him a
all
chance
pretty.
to talk.
We're all
We're giving
old. Yeah.
It's,
Okay. Go ahead.
It's a weak excuse because that's what we heard from the Disney Star Wars sequels. That if you're a chud that hated the Disney sequels, you don't realize that the movies are made for kids. That's the same discourse surrounding this movie, is that you need to go in with a childhood mindset to understand and appreciate this James Gunn movie. I don't like that Lois Lane emasculated Superman the entire time, and it starts off early with him telling Lois that he loves her, and she doesn't reciprocate it until the very end. She's constantly belittling him, even when it goes to the interviews and stuff. Now, whether you want to look at it through the lens of Superman being emotional, which I think he is, and I don't really appreciate that because Superman's supposed to be stoic. But Lois Lane does belittle him and emasculate him. And final verdict, I give this movie a 4.5. It's and I look at it this way. If you went into the movie expecting to like it, you are probably going to like it. If you went into the movie expecting to hate it, you're
That's
probably going to hate it. Yep. And if you went into the movie with zero expectations, none at all, you probably weren't going to like it. So
I disagree. The Rotten Tomatoes says otherwise.
Wait. Epic Mike's
Rotten
next.
Tomatoes.
And I will say this.
I don't care. I'm just gonna say it.
I will say this real quick before we get into the details of the movie. I do want to say this. There's that one scene at the end in the war where the kids are holding up the Superman flag and everyone is crying out for Superman, and he doesn't show up.
That's hilarious. I love that
He
part.
He doesn't show up. That is so weak, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's
All
how
right,
I
so
feel.
4.5 for Beardo.
4.5.
Yep.
Okay.
Mike.
Yeah. I think that if you're going to establish a new cinematic universe for DC, I think making it distinct and feel like you actually thought out and planned for what you wanted to do going forward and had a really distinct style and feel, I think was important. This felt like James Gunn wants to cover all the criticisms that he's ever had of his career by putting every trope that he could think of into this movie. I think he played it safe. I think he grabbed everything he could from every positive thing he could from other Superman movies. There's a lot of repeat storylines. There's a lot of repeat things that are not just comic book tropes or comic book things from Superman, also from the movies. That's why he uses John Williams' score, because I think he was trying to grab as many people as he could with this film. I think he played it safe, and I think that makes him a bitch. I did not like.
Sorry, but that Superman's John Williams score is probably the greatest superhero.
It's a phenomenal score.
I just want to say
it is not used well in this movie.
All it says is that
I agree with that
he
too.
did not. This Superman does not have his own distinct identity. There's nothing iconic about the Superman. There's nothing that makes me feel like he's the symbol of hope in the world. And everybody could say year 3 Superman all they want. I get that, but he's also supposed to be the most powerful metahuman in the world, as they tell us in the very beginning with text. And he doesn't feel like that at all. He just feels like a guy that's kind of involved in things because he can be. I just feel like this movie doesn't really have much of an identity, and I wasn't really a fan of it. And the one part of it that I liked the most, Mr. Terrific, was James Gunn's favorite character, as he's on record as saying. So it was very apparent that James Gunn probably wanted to make a Mr. Terrific movie and a Justice Gang movie, and also had to insert Superman into it as well. But I gave it a 5 out of 10. I think if I go back and watch this movie again, because I do think watching it multiple times would be important to really have a really critical eye of it. I've only seen it the one time and then just watch clips and things of it again. I would give it a 5 out of 10, but I think that rating will go down as I continue to watch more of it. So,
okay. In Damien,
I give it.
I know the chat said. Sorry, just quickly. I know some people in the chat are like, "This has made it less fun." Like, don't worry, the arguments are coming. I just wanted everybody to give a chance to say their little piece. And
I would give it a 6 out of 10.
This is the foreplay right here. Okay?
That's right. That's right.
We're tickling the nipples. We're juggling the balls. We're really, we're spitting on that thing. We're getting it ready. All
right, sorry.
I agree with Mike and Beardo that I think this movie is James Gunn at his least confident and his least creative, and it honestly felt like a mismatch that he did Superman out of all the other characters, because it feels like with all the rest of his movies he excels at oddball, weirdo, outcast characters, and I'm sure you could make the argument that Superman's that as well, but it felt like he played it way too safe. In my opinion, it's probably one of his movies I like the least. The action I felt was not very good at all. Crypto was fine. I know we'll get into it later, but the whole Supergirl thing didn't make any sense at all. Because, how can you be drunk when there's a yellow sun? Doesn't make any sense. How does she go somewhere with
it's explained?
It gets explained. She goes to a red sun.
But whatever. Anyway, it's stupid anyway for me.
Would she still be drunk when she came back to Earth? Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
We can get into that sort of thing.
What else? I don't like the villains. I thought Lex Luthor is still not the Lex Luthor that I want. I want more of I wanted an older, more darker voiced Lex Luthor, someone more the way I envisioned it, the easiest way to explain it would be like a Walter White Lex Luthor, not this, he's pushing pencils off the tables, people pick it up and stuff. I just didn't like it. I hated the whole he has these like people working with him, and he's calling out numbers for
Controlling
Ultraman to punch.
with a
It doesn't make any
fucking
sense. You're
cheat
telling
card.
me
He's
that
playing
Lex
a video
Luthor
game.
has the
Video
mental
game guy is
capacity and
totally saying
reaction-
that doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. Okay.
No. But listen,
Oh,
how
let
does
him
he have the
talk.
reaction time to see Superman coming at Ultraman? He's able to basically put in inputs, then tell the guy beside him to put the input in. He puts the input, and then Ultraman hits him. In the amount of time that it takes Superman to punch Ultraman, it was just too much gobbledygook for me. What else did I like about the movie? I'm just trying to go really quickly. Oh yeah, the fact that the not Israel, which they're called Baravi, I believe.
Right.
So I was watching the movie, and I can understand Serbian because obviously I'm Serbian. So when the Baravians are speaking, they're speaking fluent Serbian. So they were saying shit, and I was sitting there in the theater. I could understand everything that they were saying, which was stupid to me. So I hate the typecast of like Serbians always being the bad guys in movies and stuff like that. And they did it again here, which I thought was really stupid as well. Beyond that, I think Man of Steel has
writing?
way better action.
Yes.
I like the Man of Steel suit a lot better.
Let's
I like
go.
the mythology behind the Man of Steel
Let's
suit
go.
and
Yes.
the way the Kryptonian stuff is kind of explained in that movie is much more interesting to me than this one. This one, it just kind of feels like Superman's just a guy who can just do things. Whereas in like the Man of Steel movie, at least it was like, well, the Kryptonians are like bred for like a very specific reason to do. They're almost like a beehive. You know what I mean? I thought it was really cool. I thought General Zod was a great villain in that movie. The villains in this movie just fall flat to me. I thought Ultraman was lame as hell. I thought the first half of the movie was better than the second half. My favorite scene in the whole movie is when Clark and Lois are just talking about the political shit in like the interview. That's the best scene in the movie for me.
In the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, basically. What else we got to say?
All right, it's just
Pretty
a brief
much-
synopsis. We can get into
Yeah,
it more.
Mr. Terrific's great. Besides that, everyone else pretty much forgettable. I personally don't really like this movie very much. I'd be totally fine if they rebooted it again and tried again, because honestly, this wasn't it for me. But overall, I would give it like a 5.5, 6 out of 10 at best. I don't really ever want to see it again, which is probably the biggest part of my review. This has nothing on the first Guardians of the Galaxy. It's one of James Gunn's least interesting movies. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
All right, Tom, brief, please, synopsis. And a rating. Tom?
Thank you, Tom.
Hello?
Tom's dead.
Maybe he went to go take a couple of hits on his asthma puffer.
Like, I feel like Tom is sitting there like red face.
We'll go to Steph. Steph.
All right, we'll skip Tom and come back.
I don't know where he is. Steph.
In this Superman movie, I feel like this Superman movie was made for a new generation. That's what I think. I think it was written by someone who believes in feminism, so he looked at his heroes through that lens. I think that this movie was made for Gen Zers. It's a Superman for a new generation, and it is totally okay to have a Superman for a new generation. I personally didn't like it. I thought that a lot of our heroes were weak. I think that the standout character was Mr. Terrific, and that is not good when this is a Superman movie and everybody is praising Mr. Terrific at the end of the movie, because that's pretty much like the standout character with this Superman movie. I think David Corenswet is great as Clark Kent and as Superman. He's a great choice. The script around him just wasn't good. The cast is great. The script isn't good. It is very messy. It's very clunky. It moves incredibly fast, so the pacing is totally off. And yes, you can say like there's titties in the movie. This girl wears a short or a low cut shirt, but let's call it as what it is. Lois Lane is our main heroine in this movie, and she dresses in clunky shoes. All right, she dresses in clunky shoes. I think it looks hilarious when they're kissing at the end and he's lifting her up and she's wearing man shoes. So I think that you can still dress a woman in very feminine clothing and still be able to take her seriously. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I can forgive in this movie, and there's a lot of things that I just do not like. We'll probably get into it later. Overall, I think the movie is like I don't know, maybe like a 5 out of 10. It's a very mid Superman movie for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you watch it again?
Sorry.
Yeah, that is for a TikTok that they did.
No, she wears this in the movie. It's
For
in
like-
the movie.
For 30
Yes,
seconds.
it's in the movie. I don't care. It's still in the movie.
For 30 seconds.
I'm so
she
sick
was
of
in it.
people saying this shit when it's not true.
For
All
30
right,
seconds.
Tom,
she was
Wait,
in it.
this
What's
is
going
so
on here? What is
sexy.
this? What is this? I don't even know what's going on.
This is her in a skirt outfit in the movie that everybody keeps saying, oh, she dresses like a dude. I'm like, okay, this is why I said Price of Reason. I expect to see you dressed this way the next time I see you.
Yeah,
I
she
think
dresses
that's-
like a dude
I
in the
thi-
movie. Yeah. And this is, you know what, Tom? This is coming from a
I
girl.
don't. What she dresses like
She
an
dresses-
office woman.
I ain't wearing
Yeah,
the
she
shit
dresses
that she
like an
wears. I'll
office
tell you
chick.
that
I
right
see
now.
chicks. I see chicks where I work dressed
Lois
like
Lane
this.
has never dressed like a hoe. I don't
Everybody
understand
who
where.
dresses that way, I would call a faggot, okay? That's a plain and simple fact.
But I don't understand this. Lois Lane dressed like a she is working. She's a working.
She
She's
doesn't dress
always
like
a girl.
always been a
You know what? I
working
will give-
woman.
I will give you that. All right. I will
People
give you
always
that.
misconstrue
You know what?
She's
Lois because of the
always
Carrie
been a
Hatcher
career-driven
version.
woman.
Yes, absolutely.
see her
Feminists have
like
been
a-
working very, very hard to make sure that you are dressed at the workplace for not the male gaze. Like that. You know what? You're absolutely correct.
I don't think she looked like a
Feminists have been
dude.
working very
I
hard.
don't
disagree
think
with
that.
that
I don't
because
think that
the
that
only
was.
reason
Carrie
people
Hatcher
think
is
Lois
better
Lane
than
is
Carrie
always
Hatcher.
dressed in
Feminists
sexy
told you or not.
clothes is because of
Absolutely.
Carrie
Well
Hatcher,
done.
and that's
Well
it.
done.
All right.
Look, let's
Tom,
meet
hang
in
on.
the middle here, okay? She
All right,
didn't
wait.
dress like a guy. She didn't dress like a woman. She dressed like a lesbian. Okay,
Yep,
let's
yep.
go with that.
Oh,
She
well, that's
dressed like
kind
a
of worse, though. I don't know about that one.
She
That's
dresses like
Dude.
she likes.
Let
She
me.
dresses
I
like she
see
likes
chicks
cooch.
at my work that dress like she did at work. Like it was a
No,
short
she dresses
skirt,
like she likes cooch, bro.
tights. I
We
don't
need to
know.
that's-
understand that Lois
That's
Lane
not
is
true.
supposed
She
to be one
dresses
of
like
the
she
most.
works in a office, which is what she does.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
looked like
But
an
Lois
office woman.
Lane
She
is
looks
supposed
like
to
a
be the
woman
one
working
most
in an office.
beautiful,
I didn't see a problem
sexy
with the way
woman
that she dressed.
in DC.
Anyway,
She be
Oh,
eating,
she
bro.
is.
In
She
the
still look
comics,
good.
Lois Lane is supposed to be.
She was
the
a real
most
knockout in
beautiful-
Superman 70, wasn't she?
I'm
Not
telling
only
you.
that, what about Man of
She-
Steel? Yeah,
she
was
was she was a
Oh,
real
No,
sexy
I'm not defending
piece of
Amy
ass
Adams.
in the
I'm
Christopher
not,
Reeves
I'm not
movie.
defending Amy Adams. I'm telling you that in comics, Lois Lane is
That's
supposed
not
to be
true.
the most
Beardo,
beautiful.
That's not
sexy
true.
woman. It is
I-
true.
That's
It is
bullshit.
true.
I don't
That's
know if
not
you should argue
true.
comics here.
Lois
I don't
Lane is
think
supposed to be.
No, that's not true.
I don't think you
Gorgeous.
should be arguing
Lois
comics.
Lane is supposed to be
Glamorous
gorgeous.
Bullshit.
Is
I
because
don't
No,
of
it's
her
true.
fucking
She's
accent.
not Lana
true.
Lang, bro.
I don't think you should
She's
argue
supposed to be
comics.
all right.
gorgeous.
There is a
Yeah, she's
difference.
gorgeous. She's not gorgeous. Who gives a
I
fuck?
think you should
Tom.
argue comics here. Yeah, that's,
Tom,
these guys
please.
are
I'm
no
just
joke.
telling you.
Take
Let's
a
leave
breath.
the comics out of it.
Take a
I'm
breath.
just
Sure.
letting you know, like it's gonna
And
be.
please give me
Yeah.
your brief synopsis.
Yeah, it's Tom's turn.
You thought of it and a rating, please, Tom.
Well, I enjoyed the film. Obviously, I thought it was an excellent amalgamation of all the Silver Age mixed with some of the modern stuff and the '90s vibe from the animated series. I was happy to see a completely different Superman for the first time on screen in a long time, because as much as I love the Donner film, and it is better than this film, I will say that up front. The problem with that movie is Donner decided to do this Jesus allegory with Superman, and ever since then, people have been hung up on the Jesus allegory, and they forgot that it never was a Jesus allegory. It was a Moses allegory. And that's where this movie kind of gets it back to its roots a little bit more, in my opinion. And I walked out of this like a giddy kid because I felt like I'd just seen the most comic book movie on screen since Ninja Turtles. Because, I mean, as much as I've loved all the Marvel films and all that stuff, they are a far cry from what the comic books were. Like, I'm walking out of this movie feeling like there's a possibility we'll see the T-Rex and the Big Penny and all that shit in the Batcave when the Batman movie comes out. I'm like, I will gladly take this, very comic book-esque thing. Like, whatever James has done here, I'm happy with. To me, he's like Tarantino, where he takes things from all over the place, puts them together. I saw it a second time, and I agreed the first time, like, it was a little too James Gunn-y, but I felt like the second time, I felt like the effect was lessened, and I just soaked up more of the story, and I was looking for certain things and taking notes of certain things. So, like, at the end of the day, I think most people will enjoy it if they go in not expecting this to be Christopher Reeve or expecting this to be Henry Cavill or anything like that, or any previous Superman before. You kind of have to forget any of those before, because this is a completely new, different Superman. I thought Nicholas Hoult knocked it out of the park as Lex Luthor. Thought it was stupendous. I thought the casting for the most part was spot on. My only gripe was that I didn't feel like we get enough time with the people at the Daily Planet to get to know them. I feel like the parents got the shaft. I feel like we wouldn't be saying as much negative stuff about the folks had we got to see a little bit more of them. because it feels like, yeah, that 20 minutes that got sacrificed is probably a little bit more of them and the stuff at the Daily Planet, because that's the movie to me was like, it felt like we didn't get enough time with Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter. We got Clark Kent, aka Kal-El, and we got plenty of Superman, but we only got to see Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter, like once or twice, basically. So that to me was a little, eh. And again, the CGI, yes, there's a lot of dodgy CGI here and there, but overall, I thought the film was fun. I had a blast. I think most people will enjoy it if they don't go in with certain expectations at the end of the day. That's what I think, but we'll have to see how
I started at
7.5, but after seeing it again, I might bump it up to an 8. I don't know, out of 10.
So I got a question for Tom real quick. Tom went through the negatives and actually like nailed certain specific points of why it was negative. And then going through the positives, Tom said it was fun and just kind of gave a general opinion on it. What were the moments that made it an 8 for you specifically?
Okay, first of all, I love the production design. Okay, the technical aspects of that part, it looked to me, I love the design of it all. I like most people didn't care for Superman's suit, but I love like everything else in the world. So that part was great. I liked the comic book story. I didn't think it was over bloated as some people do. I loved the Justice Gang, their characterization. Mr. Terrific, I've never known who this character was before, but I like him now. I like the Jimmy Olsen, how they kind of gave him this, thing where he's a player. And I love how they used Miss Tessmacher because she's a character that I've always loved from the original film. I felt like Otis got kind of shafted, even though they race swapped him for some reason. But you know what's funny? You know what his last name is? Berg. Because he never had a last name in the original movie. So they named him Otis Berg. I was like, well, that sucks. So I wish we got a little bit more of Otis just to kind of get who he, because I don't dislike the actor they picked for him. It was like, why did you have to race swap him? Whatever. But the chick they got playing Miss Tessmacher, she's amazing. Between her and Lex, and I thought Corn Sweat did a great job, right? I think he did fine. I think he really captured the big blue Boy Scout aspect of Superman, because that's the other problem with the Jesus allegory, is that people think that Superman's supposed to be this super perfect, stoic, guy, when he's like literally a nerd. He's a big goofy kid at the end of the day. And Lois says it perfectly. She's like, the problem with you, Clark, is you trust everybody and think everybody's beautiful, or think everything's beautiful or whatever. And that's Superman. He is the big blue Boy Scout. He is the kind of guy who would fly down and help some little old lady cross the street.
Save a squirrel.
And save a squirrel. Exactly. And that's one of my favorite scenes too, is when the Justice Gang are fighting the kaiju. And he's like, are you guys even worried about any of these people? So he spends the time actually saving people while they're beating up the kaiju. That was, to me, was one of the better scenes.
I don't think Superman should have needed help with the kaiju. He should have just,
grabbed
him by the tail and flew him out of there. Like what?
He was trying to get him out of there to keep him alive, which is a Superman thing.
I understood that.
Year three Superman.
Exactly. And I dislike the message. I dislike the message, but I also think it's fake. Because first of all, who's going to trust Lex on Trust Me Bro? Okay, Lex Luthor.
Mr. Terrific also confirms that it's real.
I think that
you just got to know those guys, Clark.
You know what? You might.
I don't think that's a good cop
all
out.
you want.
I know them, Clark. They won't lie about nothing.
The movie that it was fake, so it is real. Up until now, until the end of the movie, it is real. If it's not fixed,
I do think
they even submitted at the end of the film.
They didn't say it wasn't. They didn't say it was definitely real either, though.
I think they're gonna.
All we have is a trust.
Wait. Hold on.
You can't look at it that way because
they're gonna retcon
it.
In this movie,
and that's
yeah.
fine. That's fine. If they retcon it, that's fine. In this movie, what happened to Jor-El and Laura is cemented. That's how it is up until this point. So to say that they're going to retcon it in the future, that's not an argument.
Let me tell you something that doesn't necessarily retconning it in the future. Supergirl is in this movie, but she's off planet through most of the movie. Why do you think that is? Because she is the one person who could say that's bullshit. Where's her harem? Her job would have been to make sure Clark fulfilled his fucking mission.
That's
more not cope. Hold on. You know Supergirl. You know Supergirl grew up on Krypton and has memories.
That's fine.
She's technically older than him.
In this movie, Supergirl is only there to plug the next movie.
Yeah.
That's why she's there. Is for the next movie.
Can I just give my quick synopsis and then Flash can give his and then we can get right into
it?
Because I do want to talk about the Jor-El thing because, that is I can play devil's advocate on that for sure. But anyway, just quickly in regards to what I thought, I really sort of didn't really like this movie. I'm very meh on the whole thing. The one thing that Superman was essentially able to defeat in this movie was the cancel campaign that Lex Luthor tried to run on him, and he was able to flip. Hang on, he was able to flip his Uno reverse card and then get Lex canceled through the media as well. Like that's basically what this movie is. And that's where sort of it comes back to what Steph said in regards to it being for this new generation. Yeah, look, they tried to run a massive cancel campaign on Superman, and it worked for a little while. People were getting all shady and shifty on whether or not Superman is the guy that he's supposed to be, blah, 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 blah. He was able to defeat that. It came out that Lex is a piece of shit through the media. He was able to get that was the movie. That was the movie. There was no point where I saw Superman do what Superman did in Superman Returns, where he saves all those people on the plane and everything. He sends the rocket out. He, saves all nothing like that ever happened. Where he comes in and he's like, "Is everyone okay? Okay, good." Like,
there was a whole scene of that though with the
what?
Kaiju. The whole scene was him saving people, and even at the end of the movie, with him grabbing a building. Saving people. There was.
I see the entire scene. He grabbed
the building when he could have just grabbed the car and moved the car instead.
I mean, regardless, he saved somebody.
Well, okay. I mean, it's so convoluted, though, in regards to everything that's going on. There's the evacuation that you could talk about later in the movie, how quickly that happens. It's like, you talk about you talk about hyperspace. Hang on, you talk about hyperspace teleportation in Star Wars, no travel time. Mate, they evacuated that city by beam me up, Scotty. They got everybody out of there in an instant, right? Like, and the whole thing with the kaiju, right, is like, honestly, Superman should have picked that thing up by its tail, taken it out to the desert, defeated the thing out there. It would never have died. Isn't this Superman that we're talking about? Like, can't he lift an entire building and carry that out while Flash is like running away from it? Like, what are we talking about here?
But Rhino, it's only year 3 Superman.
Okay.
Where did the kaiju come from?
Which is the lame excuse.
Maybe he's not strong enough at year 3. I don't know. This is the thing. I'm not a massive DC person. But in saying that, I know enough about Superman that when I saw this movie, I was kind of like, whoa. I honestly think that Man of Steel's better than this. I kind of think that there are massive elements of Superman Returns.
But Superman got his ass kicked by Batman.
Hold on.
Yeah, he got beat by
I was allowed to let you guys think. I think that Superman.
He also had kryptonite here too.
Elements of Superman Returns.
Where did the kaiju come from, though? Where did the kaiju come from?
Well, it came out of
nobody knows.
It was Lex Luthor's plan. Lex Luthor chose this kaiju
Lex
specifically.
Luthor's plan. All of this was a part of Lex Luthor's plan to cancel Superman, right?
No, it was to kill Superman, not just cancel Superman, to kill
Superman. Okay, was he really trying to kill him when he had him? When he had him at his mercy?
He wanted
He was trying to torture him to get information. Yes, he was trying to torture him to get information out of Superman. But if the entire goal is to kill Superman so that he can't interfere with any Lex's affairs, he had him. He could have killed him.
Give your rating.
All right, my rating is 4.5.
There you go. If there's one thing real
people
quick.
have never read a comic book in their life.
Well, we're also ignoring the fact that there's a whole scene where Superman watches the Justice Gang out the window fighting just some random beast from space while he's sipping cocoa going, they probably got it.
Sorry, there was just one more thing that I want to get in there.
We don't know. We don't see any of that.
I hated the way Ma and
you see them fighting it in the background, literally
fighting in the background, and he goes, they probably got it. They should be good. They're fine.
They did.
Okay, there's just one more thing.
It's not like they're losers. It's Guy Gardner, man.
The way Ma and Pa Kent were portrayed, I didn't like. And what happens with Jor-El, I hate. And Lara.
Simple dad, simple mom.
All right, we gotta get Rhino riled up even more because now we're on shot number 4 from Hayden Wayne. Says for $50, I've been debating on spending an hour driving to a theater to see Superman when I get off work next week. That's a long drive, dude.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it in theater early on, but I don't know if I want to waste about 5 hours of my day to see it tonight.
That's a long drive.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I
do that.
wouldn't drive to
Don't
go
do it.
see The Godfather for an hour. So I
That's
don't
my
care
life.
what the
I have to
movie
drive-
is.
My theater,
I have to
so.
drive over an hour just to get to the theater. Yeah.
I gotta
Unless
drive
it's a really
15
awesome
minutes.
Like, unless it's a really awesome theater, like super high class theater, then probably not. Yeah.
Real quick,
Cheers, Hayden.
Flash. There's
You don't
another po-
understand. I live in Bumfuckistan.
Hold on.
Chat,
Cheers.
Have the start, Flash.
Oh.
Wait, Steph, you taking a shot?
Yeah, cheers.
Hooey.
I'm so glad I'm here tonight. This is so good.
There's another
Yeah,
point.
Hayden Wayne, that's a long drive, man. I
Yeah,
don't
that's a
know.
long drive. Yeah.
2
Shout out
hours,
Hayden.
and you're not even watching a movie.
I know.
It would have to be. I don't. There's nothing that I would drive an hour for. I don't think.
Honestly, don't think Fantastic Four is going to be nowhere near as divisive as this movie.
I think it's just going to be. I think we're all going to agree that it's probably trash.
It's shit,
Yeah,
yeah.
most likely.
Yeah.
Flash, your turn, buddy.
Well, I'm I don't hate it as much as most of the people on here. I liked it. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. I know that's low, but I liked the cast. I liked the world that he put. I liked some of the world building. I do think the movie has problems though. It's a paper thin plot, paper thin character to development. But I like it enough. I want to see more of this world. It feels like a comic book world. That's what I liked about it the most. Is it feels like it's unapologetic. It's not going to apologize for being a comic book movie. Kind of like Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, why did it take that long to see Wolverine in a yellow suit? It's ridiculous that comic book movies can't be comic booky. So that I liked a lot, and I like the world. I like that it's like a normal thing to see monsters fighting in the middle of the city, like the scene that you guys were criticizing, like when they're fighting the kaiju. I like that. It just seems like a Tuesday for Lois. Like this shit happens all the time there. There's always crazy shit going on. That's like a comic book world. So like the world that they've been putting together. I like the silliness. I like that it's kind of stupid and silly because that's what Silver Age comic books. But that's what they're going for with this.
Like,
they're going for like a Silver Age kind of feel with
That
this
did work.
movie.
Like on paper, the monkey thing sounded goofy, but in the movie,
in
it's
the
like
movie it works. And
you
now
see
I
it once, but
understand.
then it works.
I actually think
it's so much better with the
God.
context. But you know what? The monkey thing, it's not a shot at the fans. You know what that's a shot at? That's a shot. Hold on. No, the monkey thing is a shot at the Snyder Bros. That's 100%
No.
a shot
I
at the
wouldn't be
Snyder Bros.
I hated.
100%.
You know what I hated more about the
Oh
monkeys?
yeah.
I can almost
Crypto
confirm
at the
that.
end. Crypto
Yeah.
at the end playing with the monkeys pissed me off more than seeing the monkeys type and bullshit.
He
about Superman.
100% took a
Fine,
shot
so
at the
goofy,
Snyder people with
man.
that
This
monkey
movie-
thing.
I
That's
think
what it
was
was.
MAGA. It was MAGA, not Snyder Bros.
No, it's
I
the
don't
Snyder
think so.
Bros.
No,
I thought-
I
I
don't think
thought it
so.
Snyder Bros.
I
Why is it
disagree.
MAGA?
I disagree.
That's not
What-
MAGA.
What would
It's
make it
because
MAGA though?
It's a
What would-
James
yeah.
Gunn allegory to him getting canceled in real
He never
life.
really
over...
got canceled though.
He got
That's the thing, people
fired.
always
Got
say.
fired?
No,
What are you
hold on,
talking
hold
about?
on,
He
hold
got
on.
fired.
Yeah, what are you
For
talking about?
2 fucking
He
seconds.
got fired
He got
from
okay, if
Marvel.
he got, okay, let me
He
finish-
got
let me tell you this.
fired.
Hold
If
on,
he
wait.
He
canceled-
got
I like to
fired
cancel the
from
way James
Marvel.
Let him
Gunn got
talk.
canceled.
Hold on.
Because you know
Got
what he fucking
fired.
got out of that being canceled? He got
Okay.
the DC universe is what he got.
All right,
No, he
you
got
had that
no.
one.
You're
Hold on,
wrong.
he got
He got
fired.
Suicide Squad
He got
out of
the
it.
Suicide
He got
Squad.
Suicide Squad, and then he went back to Marvel and got Guardians 3 10
That's my
years
point.
later
He's
after
never
2,
been
and
canceled.
then he went back because he was going to be the new Kevin Feige of DCU.
Yeah,
he
he
got
got-
fired.
he
He
never
got fired.
100% got canceled.
He got fired. He even said it himself. It was the Disney got him fired. Marvel were standing behind
Now-
him, but Disney were the ones who got him
Well-
fired.
Yeah, but he also
Then
said
he got
how
that
would that
I didn't even get to
deal-
finish my. I didn't even get to finish my
Yeah,
point.
that's
Yellow
true.
Flash
That's
finished.
true. Hey,
Everybody arguing. I didn't even get to finish my monologue.
Go.
Now, there's outside of the cast, there's one person I didn't like. I did not like Supergirl. I don't like the portrayal of the character in that movie. I don't like that drunken bullshit that she was doing at the end. I think that's awful. I'm not looking forward. I don't even think I'm going to watch what are they going to call it? Woman of Tomorrow. But it's also a plot hole because Supergirl has memories of Krypton. She grew up on Krypton. She's actually older than Clark, and I think her being off planet, that's going to retcon. I think in the next movie, in Woman of Tomorrow, they're going to retcon that Jor-El shit, which I didn't like either. I thought that was bullshit, and I never believed it. I guarantee you that gets retconned out.
Okay. Just in regards to the Jor-El shit, I just want to play devil's advocate. I hated that Beardo. Beardo, I despised it, and I agree with you that within this isolated movie, it's bullshit that they didn't essentially retcon it already and say that, it wasn't a planned thing by Lex or whatever the case may be. But in saying that, they could still play it off that, yes, even though it was confirmed and verified by whom? By the people that work for Lex. They're the only people that have opportunity to be able to verify this thing. So if I am playing devil's advocate, it could.
Yeah, but it was literally just trust me, bro. It's real.
That's right.
But then they would have established that in this movie.
Maybe 100% they should have, but they never really
that's
did.
Part of the dumb. That's part of some of the dumb writing in the movie.
Correct.
The movie's got some dumb writing.
So
the movie is very flawed, but I like enough of it that. Like I did, everyone's mocking the fun thing, but I did have fun watching it.
I think. Hold on. I think fun is a legitimate thing to say. You should be able to have fun at a movie. I do think fun factor is important. I don't think that that's a silly metric to measure things by. I watched F1 and it was fun. It wasn't like this groundbreaking film. So I do think fun factor is important, especially.
I don't think a movie like this needs to be groundbreaking. It's just a stupid comic book movie.
Let me say this, please. Can I just say this real quick? Like the one thing that bothers me most about this parents thing, I hated it too. But you know what? I saw less people give a shit about what they did to the Waynes in the Batman than they're just caring about this. That's what's bothering me, is like they're letting other shit slide in other places when it's like, okay, this isn't even as bad. Because even if you want to argue that, yes, it is in the movie and it is canon, let me finish.
Welcome to the Star Wars fan base.
Hold on, let me finish.
Let me finish, please. Because even if it's canon, at the end of the day, what is the movie about? That it doesn't matter what his parents wanted for him. The parents that raised him are the one who made him who he is. And that's why the end with the montage of him is when he's a kid with his parents is so important, is it doesn't matter what the message was at the end of the day. But I'm with Flash on this because it is kind of in the movie, because otherwise, why wouldn't Supergirl have already taken over the world?
Yeah, she would have taken over the world. And
Wait, now that you have said that, I will say that was one of the main criticisms of the Batman movie, was how the
Batman was dog shit too.
They treated him. There you go, Tom. Tom, you guys are best friends now.
The Batman is a dog shit.
Hold on a second. Epic Mike and Tom just became best friends.
What's your favorite dinosaur? Velociraptor.
I got a few things to say. If you want,
Tom and Epic Mike are going to be building bunk beds.
If you want to go. If you want to go to the Batman, there's the Court of Owls story where you can relate.
That's not in that movie. Well, what are you talking about?
Well, hold on. Well, if you want to make the argument that the sequel to whatever this movie is with Jor-El and that being fake, if you want to say that they're going to retcon that and fix that in a sequel, then you can make the same argument to the Batman where the Waynes, Court of Owls, whatever that they're going to do in the second movie, that's a separate argument. A few things that I want to say real quick about this movie that I forgot to say in my opening statement is that the way Superman is and the troubles that he goes through with the Jor-El and Laura, reveal is that Superman doesn't have to overcome any obstacles to prove people wrong. It's kind of like what the MCU, actually, it's exactly like what the MCU is suffering now, where their female heroes or their woke heroes are just proving to everybody else that they're wrong and they need to accept the heroes, that the hero's right. The hero doesn't need to overcome anything. Everybody else is wrong, and they need to learn to accept the hero. That's what happens in this movie. Superman is never wrong. It's everybody around him is mistaken, and they need to come to grips with the fact that they were wrong and come to terms with Superman. That's what happens in this movie.
He starts off good, hopeful, saving people, ends it the same way. There is no arc. If you're going to say he had a crisis of conscience because when he was at his parents' house, it was like, I don't know, it wasn't even that long. It wasn't even that long. Like he didn't go through anything. Nothing.
Thank
just
you.
What?
okay.
Are you
Okay,
kidding
I'm
me?
gonna.
I think I watched the wrong
parents said-
movie. Was it
The-
Superman?
the
I watched
whole
movie?
point-
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you kidding me?
I'm gonna
This whole
watch
movie
them.
was about him
But
being
now, at the
torn
very
down
end,
from moment
oh,
one.
My Earth parents.
He
Yeah.
doesn't need to overcome anything, though. He's
I
the
mean,
same
he
person.
does overcome it though.
But he does.
Superman
He
is
literally
the
has to
same
overcome what he
person
thought
from
his parents
beginning
thought he
to
was supposed
end.
to be.
The whole
Beginning
movie
to
is all
end.
about him questioning
the
who he is
same
because
thing.
of that message.
And he finds
He's very
he finds hope in his
But
real
he-
parents, the
He
Kents.
doesn't need to do
Yeah.
anything different. He
No, yeah,
doesn't
he
do
didn't do
anything
anything.
different.
Instead,
No,
here's what
he
he does different,
doesn't.
Beardo. This is what he does different. Instead of believing in the message that Kal-El tells him, right? That his Kryptonian parents give him. Now,
Jor-El.
Jor-El, you
all he
mean.
does, Jor-El, sorry, all he does is believe in the message that Ma and Pa can't give him now. That the pep talk that
But
his dad gives him now.
He's
That's
the same
it.
person,
He's
though.
he's just switched from one set of parents to the
No,
other. set
he
of
always
parents. That's
loved
all he does.
his adopted parents.
That's all he does. Which
A
is
lot of
from one
people,
parent to the other.
I
That's
disagree
all
with
he
people
does.
banging on
And
the
it's
Kents
immediately fixed in a morning with a quick message
because it's
from
from
Pa
his
Kent.
father.
Yes.
That's his dad.
Yeah, but there's nothing more.
Yeah.
There's no internal struggle. Nothing. You don't see him trying to overcome anything.
Okay, so what did he overcome in
he's
Superman the
inspired-
movie?
He's just
he
inspired by
overcome in
one
Man
set
of
of parents,
Steel?
and then now I'm inspired by the other set.
He
of
was
parents.
so perfect in Man of Steel. Everything was happening to him in that too. That's what I'm saying. What are you talking about? The same thing with Superman the movie. He didn't have to really overcome anything in that either.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
a
have
large,
a problem
large
with that.
chunk of the
though.
movie dedicated to how his internal struggle.
Literally, there is a scene in Man of Steel where he's talking with Zod on why should we turn Earth into Krypton? Tell me about it.
That's the other thing people are
I
overlooking.
might be intrigued
Can
by
I-
it.
can-
What's
can-
your
can I-
angle?
can I
Right
ask
now,
something? Can I
he
say
was
something?
meant to come and take over the Earth. Why do you think he had the
In Man
Codex
of
in him?
Steel?
Yes.
No, he wasn't.
No,
No,
wrong. You got to
He was
rewatch it,
supposed
dude.
to
You're wrong. No,
restart
you're
Krypton.
wrong.
I don't agree with
Yes,
that one.
he was.
Wrong.
Absolutely. I wish
Wrong.
Andre was here to
That
tell
was-
you
no,
this
I'm gonna-
because
I'm
I don't
gonna-
even
listen,
like Man of Steel, and
That's
I
way
can't agree
wrong.
with that one.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you're
say
totally
this.
wrong with
I
that.
don't
what the
necessarily
f- was he
agree.
giving the Codex for then?
To hide it from
He
Zod.
was the
To
Codex.
hide
What are
it
you
from
talking about?
Zod.
He
hide it from
was the
Zod.
Codex.
Yeah, he was the
I
Codex,
think,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think the long term plan, and because he calls it, he was supposed to be a bridge between two people. He was supposed to eventually try to bring back the people.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
Krypton.
My
We're
Not,
supposed
but
to
but
enslave
but
them.
not to
Not
take
that
over
way.
the planet,
Not
Tom.
the way
It
Zod
wasn't
did it,
supposed
but
to be
he
the-
still was meant to do exactly what they were telling him.
Well, yeah,
And
he
that
did
fucked
want.
up
He
fake
did
fucking
eventually
message
want the
problem.
people to come
Because that's the
back.
other thing. People don't stop. There's still the glitch in there, right? And the first message does not match the second half of the message. And nobody ever talks about that. And not only that,
Yeah,
when the
it
engineer
doesn't.
plugs in,
Yeah,
when the
maybe that's
engineer
just bad
plugs
writing,
in,
though.
she goes off. I think something was in the computer, Brainiac, and he probably helped
Yeah,
this
I
whole
agree.
No,
situation.
not Brainiac. No,
It's
that
fine.
It's
It
for
doesn't
sure
matter, though.
Brainiac
That's-
going.
but
that's
that's
that's who the next.
Scorpion.
cop-out.
But
though.
it's
They-
not
they've
that
already-
The
Brainiac.
engineer works the same
Hold
way
on, wait.
Brainiac does.
They have the leaks have said like they're trying to set him up to be the first big bad.
But
It
that's
So
doesn't
that
not
would
in
make
this
sense
movie.
then for him. But yeah, but Thanos wasn't in Iron Man.
No, he wasn't.
But Thanos wasn't mentioned in Iron Man. There
Yeah,
Right,
wasn't-
and neither was
They didn't mention
Brainiac
him
mentioned in Superman.
There was
That's what I'm
nothing.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a
There
bad
was
cop-out.
nothing from Howard Stark in Iron Man 1 saying that he's going to rule the world into everybody and take over Earth.
The point,
No, 'cause he already
the
was
point of
basically
Man
the
of
fucking
Steel's
Stark
storyline
Industries.
was supposed to explain. It was kind of honestly a story about like the way I interpreted. Maybe I'm wrong. Even if I am, I was going to say what I think anyway.
Thanos
the
is
way
the
I-
end credits
the
of
way I
Avengers.
interpreted
Of
was
Avengers, yeah.
was
Correct.
that Kal-El was supposed to be like what people would want an immigrant to be, and then the Kryptonians were supposed to represent the hostile kind of immigration, if you will. Like they came from a failed state, which is Krypton, and they wanted to turn Earth into where they came from. So they're basically turning the place they were going
Spread
to
that seed, Kal-El.
into the hellhole that they came from.
Exactly.
I think.
But
I
his-
think
Wait,
his-
hold on a second. Wait. Important breaking news. Nolan
It's actually
for the.
good.
This is the one that tipped over the goal. Nolan for
go.
$50 says, "I believe in you, Tom. I believe in
Saudi
Tom
prince
too."
over here.
Cheers, Nolan.
Cheers.
I hope your phone's feeling better.
I'll take a shot. I'm taking a shot for you, Tom. Believe it.
I'm taking one in spirit.
You
Well,
want to
and here's
know?
the thing, if-
Real quick. You know who this Superman is? This Superman is Goku.
Somebody else said that, and I don't.
Yeah, more
get
or
the
less. I
reference
think
'cause
You
I
don't
know
get
that
it
shit, but
because
yeah.
Take over the Earth.
Goku was sent to Earth to take it over.
Oh.
We
Yeah,
find
he
out
was,
later.
Yeah.
But
No.
Why did you
his,
just say that?
his earthling father, Gohan, turned him into a good
Well,
person.
that's
Well, I
not
think you're
technically
wrong.
right. The
Wrong.
reason why Goku doesn't take over Earth is
disagree.
because he
Am I
hits his
wrong?
head as a baby.
I know who the allegory is for. Look, he's
He hits his head as a
constantly.
baby.
Let me finish. Let me get this
and
point
that's
out
why
there.
Goku's kind of simple in the head. But it's also
He-
Gohan. You're right too. But it's literally
Gohan
because
makes
Goku
him a
literally-
good man.
True in a
He's-
way,
he's
but
const-
Goku also hits his head and forgets everything
Yeah, he gets
as soon
brain
as he
damage.
gets out of the pod.
This
That's why he's
Superman
kind of a
is
retard that
Mark
doesn't know how to do
Throughout
anything.
the
Well, this
Like-
Superman, he doesn't remember Krypton.
Look, this
Yeah, I
guy.
understand
Look,
I reckon
know
James
who
Gunn wants
Superman is an
Superman to be
allegory for.
Omni-Man.
I
No,
know
sorry.
who Superman is an allegory for. Look, in the beginning, everybody loves him until he gets involved in politics, and all of a sudden, everybody hates him. He's berated online. The press turns against him. And then he turns all because he stopped
Come
the
on.
war, right?
He
So he's
defeats the
Trump.
cancer
He's
chain.
But he's
fucking
not
Trump.
Trump.
There it is.
Yes, he
not
is.
Trump.
So I think we're all looking too far into it, and I think that we're giving James Gunn more credit than deserved. If we're going to compare this Superman to anybody, he's Mark Grayson, because I think that James Gunn saw Invincible once and was like, "That's a good idea."
That's I agree. I agree. I was about to say,
James Gunn, hold on.
He almost wants to make Superman Omni-Man. Like
Yep.
he wants
Superman's
he
Mark
wants to
Grayson.
bring-
Superman is
I
Mark
get
Grayson.
it. I get it.
And James Gunn was like, I saw Invincible once. Let me make Jor-El Omni-Man and a Viltrumite because that was cool in the show. So let me do that in my movie.
Yeah.
Real
Wasn't
quick,
this
and
actually in one of the comics though, where they changed his backstory? I know people are
Yeah, that
drawing
was like
the
a
Invincible.
that was like
Wait,
a one-off,
yeah.
right?
in Invincible.
No,
Or
People are
Superman?
drawing the
Superman.
Invincible character. Yeah, but I was going to say they did this in
Oh, in
Superman
the
years ago, I
comics,
thought. Yes,
actually,
yeah.
this is why I wonder if I don't think that's right, because I think James Gunn would have read the comics, and in the comics, Mark Grayson does not get his ass kicked that much. Like, he's actually invincible in the comic.
No, I
he gets
think Theodore-
depowered.
I think
He
Theodore's
gets
100%
depowered in the
right.
show. I just want to point, like, he's depowered in the show, because in the comics, Invincible barely. The only time he gets his ass kicked is if it's by a Viltrumite.
Are we going
Oh,
to
and
deny the fact?
Battle Beast kicks his ass, though. Actually,
Hold on. Are we going to deny the fact that Jor-El is not a Viltrumite and Omni-Man?
No.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
agree
No.
with you that
That's
what
reject
they're-
100%
works.
the inspiration.
I agree.
The thing is,
That's my
though,
first
is
thought
that
when I saw that.
again, even if let's say they intended the message to be real in this, with the controversy and everything behind the message from Jor-El, they're going to retcon it. Whether or not it's either a retcon or they actually had it planned out that it was going it wasn't going to be real. Like I said, I can play devil's advocate on that one and say, yes, it was only Lex's people that actually had access to it and decrypted the message. So they could
Right.
have fudged it and just said that, yes, we've had this many people look at it and this many people
But the
have
thing
said
is
that
that
it's
we know it's
definitely
not fake.
genuine.
Mr.
blah, blah, blah,
Terrific
blah,
checked
blah.
it too.
Mr.
No.
Terrific
He did
verifies
not
it's
check it.
correct.
He did not check it. He
No,
said
but
that
he-
the top. Now let me get this out there.
Oh
He
my
said the
God.
top scientist verified it. Like
He
Rhino
says,
just said.
I
the
know
only
these
person-
guys. They're
Okay,
not
let
wrong.
me finish.
so
Let me
literally trust
finish.
me, bro. Though
Which it was really trust me, bro. Because
is.
like Rhino just said,
It
the
is.
only source of this was Lex Luthor,
Yeah,
and the only
but-
person who could.
Hey.
Then why have Mr.
Yes.
Terrific, who was portrayed as the smartest, most competent man in the movie, verify that it was true? You don't
He
have
never
to
actually
throw
He
that
did
into the
that
scene.
himself, though.
Yeah, because they
He
needed.
doesn't-
I didn't
But
say
the
that.
whole
When
point
did
is he
he-
verifies
hang on,
his
hang on,
claim.
hang on.
Hold on a
When
second.
you
Wait. Hold on.
Verified, that's why.
Hold
Fire
on.
that message.
Wait. Hold on. Now, this is part of the reason why the writing is kind of bad in a lot of this movie.
Kind
is
of,
because
Yeah.
Kind
well,
of.
this is bad. This is bad writing on James Gunn's part. The way it's just done to
He
move the
literally
plot
turned the
forward.
Superman movie into a bad version of Invincible.
I
This
agree.
is what I will say about that message. Whether it gets retconned, it doesn't matter. Right now, it's not retconned. Right now, it
No.
is for
Real.
real. Right now, it
Yep.
is
Yep.
real. And I think that the reason that they needed it to be real, okay, is so that Superman doesn't look to his Kryptonian parents anymore. He looks to his human parents
His
now.
immigrant
Because they are
parents.
making Superman
Yeah.
more human in this movie. The humanity is a huge theme throughout this movie. He does a whole speech
And I don't have
at
a
the
problem
end
with that because
I
Superman
agree.
has
That's
always
what
been
makes
more
me
human
about
than he is an alien.
You get mad when people interrupt you. Don't interrupt.
Yeah, and every time I talk, that's all they've done. So I'm going to keep doing it myself.
All right.
Yeah, no interrupt. Let's let people talk.
This is what I will say. They keep trying to make him human, and what better way to do that in this movie than to have Superman look to his human parents and get inspiration from his human parents than from his Kryptonian parents, and that will make him appear more human. You know, so people can find him more relatable. That's the one thing that James Gunn wanted to do with this movie, is that he wanted to make Superman more relatable to the audience, and in order to do that, they need to make him appear more human. So let him get more inspiration from his parents. Now, whether or not they retcon this down the road, they could do that later on, but it doesn't happen in this movie, and I think that the reason for that is so that he can appear more human in this movie.
And
so
they highlight that at the very end. They highlight it at the very end when he goes back to the fortress and the robots ask him, do you want us to play the video for you? All of us, the audience, is like, okay, they're going to play the video of Jor-El and Laura because that's what he went to. But instead he sits down and he watches the video of Mom Pocket instead.
Yeah, character development.
And I don't have a problem with that because look, one of the problems with Superman that most people say is he's unrelatable because of the stoic Jesus allegory Superman that we've been so used to for 50 years. That's the problem. I had zero issues with this. I had zero issues.
I don't disagree with making him more relatable, but you could have done that without killing the character of Jor-El. You know,
even if it's true, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Isn't Jor-El a villain Flash eventually? He's like Mr. Q or some shit. What's it called?
There's different versions.
Now, that's in a recent run of the comics.
Yeah, I know, but still.
I hate that shit. That's when they brought the Watchmen over. Let's just
act
like that doesn't. Let's just sweep that under the rug. We don't need to talk about that garbage.
I was saying with the idea is that Superman is still a man, and the character arc in the movie, he begins very self-assured. He knows who he is. He's the guy that does the right thing, and then when the video drops, it's a huge, big thing that sends him into a self-crisis that kind of gets him thinking, like, am I supposed to side with my parents? Because that's the main thing that he's held on to for a very long time in the movie. It soothes him, they say, what the robots say, just to hear his parents speak and how they love him and how they really, really want the best for him. And then the idea is that that's shaken. That's shaken when the video comes out and saying, okay, but now we want you to take over the world. These people are simple. Basically, it's kind of like a darker version of what you get with the Enlightenment idea. Like they're simple. You know, you need to enlighten them with your might as opposed to your virtue, as opposed to what you get in the other movie. And then he goes through a crisis. He goes through a mental internal struggle. And this is very important towards the end because he does make a major and very major choice, masculine choice, which is actually something that's a very masculine choice, actually dictated in the psychology, Jungian psychology, hero's journey stuff. You could read the stuff in the book Iron John by Robert Bly, that part of the masculine man's journey is defiance of his parents. That's a huge one, not a huge like I'm going to kill you defiance, but the idea of I'm going to think for myself. I'm going to reject my parents in some capacity to find who I really am. And that is a big part of this specific movie, where he goes in there and he has a crisis with Lois. I don't know who I am anymore. I thought I was one thing, but apparently I'm supposed to be another. And that's kind of where he has this discussion with Lois. And he goes forward and seeing, like, who am I supposed to be really? And eventually we get this discussion with the Kents where he's like, on one hand, we have this revelation with his alien parents. On the other hand, we get this interaction with his Earth parents, and he's able to choose at the end that he is the person who he wants to be. He doesn't have to be his parents. And Paul Kent kind of says that parents don't get to dictate who their children become. They can only give them the tools to become the best person they can possibly be. And so he chooses to reject the demands of his alien parents and says, you know what? I am me. I am not who I'm supposed to be, dictated by some Kryptonian weirdos. I am Superman, the man who does the right thing. And that's kind of a big character arc.
But I think
hold on real quick. I got some breaking news.
Are we even supposed
$100? The ad said 3,000.
I missed the part where that's my problem. Hey, what the hell?
I need that money.
Nolan for $100.
Here's Nolan.
Says woo.
Totally
Cheers,
fair.
my friend.
I
Well,
bought
the
some
one thing
Guy Gardner comics after this movie. It's like this is fun.
Well, the
The
one
thing
thing that
is,
does
in
support that
regards
it's
to what you said, Lit Dev, was like, I don't think we were ever really supposed to go through that in the first place because Jarrell should not be saying that.
Why?
Well, I just don't like whether or not it's fake or real.
To me, it's real.
Like, okay,
I will say there's something that supports it that it might be real, because the thing that it might be real is
okay,
I think
if it's
for
real, then
I think
if
for
it's real,
manipulated
Tom,
it.
hang on, then if it's real, Tom, do you have a problem with that?
Yes, but not to the extent, because like I said, like what Lit Dev said, this is the point I've been trying to get out the whole movie, is that yes, I get it, but at the same time, this whole movie is the point, and this is why I don't have a problem with him being human, because that's one side of Superman we haven't got to see kind of since Christopher Reeve. That was kind of the last time he was well, they did. I will give Dean Cain credit. They did give him that.
I will have
captured a little bit of that.
If they don't retcon this, if they don't retcon this, I'll have a major problem with it, because Krypton is a part of Superman.
Well, then you can't
he loves his heritage. Like, you're gonna strip that away from the character. The last son of Krypton will be stripped from him. And I don't like that. I don't like that.
If you're going to say that if this is real, you've got a problem with that, then you can't have a problem with people having a problem with that now because they haven't retconned it.
Have I said that I have a problem with that? No. Look, I don't have a problem with anybody not liking the movie. That's not my issue at all. My issue has been just some of the misrepresentation, but that's not the point I'm trying to make here. It's like, look, if it's real, it sucks. And I do not like that. But the reason I think it's just going to be a throwaway line in Supergirl, or it's setting something up for Brainiac, is because, like we've said, it doesn't jive with the first half of the message, and Supergirl would be there to fulfill his destiny with him, right? So this doesn't make any sense. And I think it's just going to be some toss away line in Supergirl where she literally goes, "Oh, that stupid message, that was bullshit." That's probably what she's going to say, word for word, and that's what it's going to probably end up being.
The other problem, and I
just brush it off.
I think, and I think Lit Dev has a. I mean, I think he has a good point. But this is also a bigger indication of this movie. There's way too much going on, and no plot has any time to develop.
Well, and this is where
I like the fast pace. So I see what you're saying there, and there's a pro and a con to that. The con is the characters are paper thin, but the pro is the pacing. In my opinion, was really good. This movie, you have to remember, they're going for a younger audience. And what is that younger audience now? It's this TikTokers.
Yeah.
The movie moves for a TikTok generation.
It is absolutely designed for a
100%.
faster paced audience.
Yeah.
It's why the jump cuts are constant.
Yep.
They're constantly moving. There's a ton of energy to
Camera,
it.
like
Absolutely.
camera shit.
That's why the plot is
camera
literally
shit that he was doing throughout the movie was crazy. Like
was a lot of
the
plot
part
in
where
there.
he's doing the Russian roulette and the
I
camera's,
liked
like,
the pacing
going
of
from
the
head
movie.
to head.
The
That
movie was
crazy.
fast. I felt like I blinked and I missed like 10 minutes of shit.
That was the one part of Lex. That was the one part of Lex that I actually liked, was the Russian roulette bit. And
that was great. That was my favorite. Was one of my favorite scenes in the movie where he shoots a guy. And
100%.
for context, for people that haven't seen it, let me give some context to the scene for people who haven't seen it. Okay, so this is obviously a spoiler panel, but when they have Superman captured, they bring on this guy that interacted with Superman, and he's
the hot dog vendor.
He's the hot dog vendor.
Hot dog vendor.
And
That
he-
awful guy.
He does
fucking random person.
Russian roulette with him,
Oh.
and he kills him on the second shot.
But
And
a
he's like,
second try,
"Oh,
I like that one.
Even
I
Luthor
did like that.
I thought this was going to go longer."
Yeah,
Actually, the actual line.
That's the other thing
actual
too.
line
is-
is- I just gotta say the actual line because it works better. He goes, "Well, that was quicker than I expected." Oh well.
Yeah, Superman's reaction to that though, I really liked as well. Like, he got
Yeah,
really
okay,
good
so,
reason-
real quick,
Remember,
this
the
is-
reason we're supposed to care about this
That's
is
the only
because
time Superman cries. By the way, I want to
Yeah,
say
exactly.
This right now.
The whole him being a crybaby.
That's
He
the
just
first- no,
he
that's
just
not
saw a
true.
man
That's the
die
second time.
that
That's
he
the second time.
knows.
That's the second time he cried.
Nose is
When
a
was the
very,
first time?
very.
That's the
Nose
second
Yeah,
is
but
time.
a
Superman
very
doesn't want
fluid
anybody to
concept.
die. He takes it
He
personal,
literally-
just like Peter Parker.
Hold on. This
Wait,
guy
Beardo, when was the
literally
first time?
in earlier in
Mike,
the movie
Mike.
when we see Superman get cratered into the floor, this is the only guy that runs to help Superman. They make it a very quick point to point out, wait a minute, I'll help you, Superman. And he runs over and everybody's like, who's this guy? And he's like, oh, he gave me
That's
falafel
racist.
one time. I got falafel one time from this guy. And then literally he repeats it later. He's like, I got falafel from that guy one time. I don't know this guy. He's like, cool, well, I blew his brains out anyways because I'll have to find somebody else that knows you. But like, that is absolutely them trying to make you care about a character by doing a thing that feels very emotionally manipulative because like other people are supposed to love Superman too. Not a single other person tries to help him. At all.
So-
And you know what?
so-
They also excuse that death, by the way, by saying it's okay, Superman. I have nobody. I don't have a family. I don't have.
I
so
have
if
no
he
friends
dies,
or family. I
don't
just have my
any friends
falafel
or
cart.
family. I'm all good. So it's totally
it's very
fine
comic
for
book.
them to
That
kill
is,
this
I don't
guy.
have a problem with that. That's very comic book. I don't
It's
have a
not
problem.
But
excuse for
I
his
will say
death,
this
Yeah,
about
no, yeah,
But
that's
the,
not an
but
excuse.
but going after
Listen
him
to
because
all
he
the men
cried
crying.
there, like he takes that very personal
That's
that
a
he
big deal.
that
And
guy
I don't have-
died.
And I don't have,
Like it.
and I don't have
Peter
a problem
Parker
with
Peter
men having
Parker
a
would
reaction
cry
like
there too.
I like
Didn't Tobey
I
Maguire?
don't necessarily agree with that.
Yes, he would.
Yeah,
Spider-Man
no,
would
I
take the
don't know.
shirt off of his
Spider-Man
back
would
and give it to
absolutely cry
somebody.
about something like
Hang on
that.
a second, Beardo.
Yeah.
If he wanted to stop him from killing him and it honestly just really couldn't and just executed in front of his face, I dare say that'd tear some emotions through. Even
Spider-Man
Yeah.
would start
Because
crying
Superman
before he
finds
did
all
that.
life
That
sacred.
was totally
And
fine.
here's
They
the-
actually
I
set
thought
up
that
which
thing was
good.
great. I actually thought that was probably
Because
the
he
best
also did
thing.
the same thing with the
That's
kaiju.
fine.
Remember when the
That's
kaiju
fine.
died? He was hoping they could put it in
Right.
a zoo or something.
And I will
To-
say
right?
this,
'Cause
I
that's
do
how we
not
think.
agree that Superman's a crybaby in this film. I
No.
do think that Superman is constantly belittled and smacked
And
around in this
Yes.
film.
He
And-
is.
And,
Yes, he
and
is.
it is-
Yeah,
and
I
that
agree
is
with that,
supposed-
actually.
Especially by
That is
Lois.
supposed to serve a vehicle that he's vulnerable because for some reason James Gunn equates weak Superman with vulnerable Superman, and I'm like, you can still be really powerful and still be emotionally vulnerable. Like that's kind of the whole shtick with him is that he's emotionally vulnerable. He has the same emotions as every human being. He just has the powers of a god, and that's okay. Like, but I also think that in that moment, like it is supposed to serve a very emotional time and moment, and I think they could have served that way better instead of having it just be, oh, that guy gave me falafel, and he's also the only guy that decided to help me in one moment in the movie. There could have been other characters, but once again, because the plot has to keep moving quickly, because there's too many characters involved, he just kind of goes like, oh, well, you know what, whatever, like this will make Superman sad. Oh, that kind of sucks, let's keep moving, you know.
Well, Lex
And
is trying to
the thing
break
that-
him, though, Mike. That's
I
the
get
thing.
that, but also we also see moments where Lex is willing to let thousands of people die. Why not just hold up a screen and say, listen, you not being here, the longer you're not here, the more shit like this is going to happen to punish you for not telling me what I want to know. Like he could have, I mean, he's willing to kill thousands of people for this. He literally
The thing
says,
that- the thing
listen,
that sort
the
of
city's
pissed me
falling
off-
apart. Let him die.
The thing that sort
All
of
right, hold
pissed
on a
me
second.
off
Tom
was-
was going to say something. Let him.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to let Tom get his thing.
Well, as far as like the thing with him and the falafel guy, you guys got to remember this is right after he had dealing with the whole the war thing. So there was people that were pissed. Like even the one guy said maybe you should have stayed out of the war thing right before that. And like you guys said, yes, I don't have a problem with that. I thought that was very comic booky. And then there was another point I wanted to make back with the whole Jarrell message thing. And again, I agree with you, Rhino. I don't like it, but at the same time, there is one thing that
I
does
hate
support it might be real, and then I have to concede this that does support it that might be real. Okay. But it also, there's another thing that supports it. It might be complete bullshit and we're overlooking it. Because
As far as
the
I'm
thing
concerned, the
that's-
message is real.
the thing that I think it might be complete bullshit and we're overlooking it is that at the end of the movie, basically everything Lex did was bullshit. So I think we're just left as the audience to assume that he did fake it. But you're right. That is poor writing. They should have put it in there somewhere that along with everything else Lex did.
Well, even just a little clue that a suspicion that it could be fake. Like somebody comes out and goes, "Hang on a
Seeding
second,
it, yeah.
it looks like there's something not right here in this message," and then it ends. How good would that have been? Oh, hang on, this message.
probably
looks
is
like
No, I get you, and I agree with you. But I think we're just
It's the fact that it's not in the
Would have
movie.
been so much
It could-
better.
I'm just saying it could have been done so easily
Never
because
mind.
if they say that everything that Lex has done up until now has been bullshit, then they have tons of shots at the television showing news reports. It could have been a simple line of text that said
I
Superman
agree. I
vindicated.
agree.
Superman vindicated, the whatever, the
Message
reporting is
and
fake.
quit.
Also, are we ignoring the fact that
Hold on, wait,
that is the only thing that they did not say was not real from Lex.
All right, let Tom respond. Let Tom respond.
All right, let's go.
Well, I was going to say, this actually supports the guys who are making the point that it is real, and this is this. But it also goes to what the whole point of the movie is. When Superman returns to the Fortress of Solitude and it's all up, we see 4 laying on the floor, stabbing himself in the head, saying, "Must protect Superman, must protect Superman, must protect Superman." That to me, at first, I'm thinking, oh, he made the shit up about the message. He manipulated it, cut it off at the end so Clark would never hear that, because he saw baby Clark with his parents, saw that hit that.
Okay, maybe, but you're feeling that.
It's not a
wait, hold on.
I get what Tom's saying, but he's filling it with headcanon. You can't do that.
I'm not filling with headcanon. That's in the movie.
Yeah, but you know what else is in the movie, Tom? Lex confirms that the message is real. He tells him, he goes, "I can't believe you lied about that."
Trust me, bro.
I can't believe you lied about that to him. And he goes, "I didn't lie." No, hold on. He even admits, he goes, "It was really convenient. I didn't have to lie about it because I would have." He admits that he would have lied about it if he had to.
Makes my point that it was probably for who did it.
Hold on.
Who did it?
No.
Wait a minute.
It goes against Supergirl and doesn't make any sense. Then that's the problem we have.
You're absolutely correct. It doesn't make any sense.
That's the poorest part of the writing. I've said that. I've conceded that. I don't know why everybody's arguing with me.
Hold on. I just want to
make your point, and then you still yell at me.
I'm gonna yell at you no matter what you do, Tom.
Tom.
Everyone's gonna yell.
Everyone's yelling at everyone.
I want to give a shout out to Kenny Justice because he went to a con today and got Ian Drummond to do a shout out for my book.
Hey, that's cool.
This is the Ocean Vegeta, the superior
Ocean
English Vegeta. Ocean dub.
This is a message for Flash from the Prince of All Saiyans, not that clown Kakarot. Waiting to hear for when the mighty Golden Patriot hits over 9,000.
That's awesome,
man. That's so rad.
Isn't that
That's
cool?
so awesome.
That'd be hilarious if you just dunked on the other voice actor. That'd be pretty funny.
He's better than Chris Sabat, in my opinion. This is the real Vegeta.
Kata, what do you think, Kata? I want to hear from Kata.
About what?
I want to hear from Kata.
Hey, no, Mike, eat some cheese puffs.
I don't want to hear this dude.
Right?
All he's done walked around the last couple days. Superman let his dad die. Superman let his dad die.
Wait, hold on.
Fuck you, Kata. Fuck you.
Is Kata playing Marvel Rivals while on the stream? So only on Tuesday night's main event. Okay,
he denied.
That was one time.
Only on main event.
Game. That was one time. But Steph, what do you want to know? What is it? About what? Like what do I think about what?
Someone in the chat said, "Let Kata speak." You were about to say something. What were you going to say?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was about the Jor-El thing. I said it doesn't matter if they change it or retcon it. It's still a terrible decision in this movie. There's nothing you can do to change that. Mm-hmm. It is bad, and it gets cemented at the end of the movie with him seeing his, human parents. Lex Luthor saying that he didn't even have to fake that. Mr. Terrific also saying that it was real. They doubled down, tripled down on the fact that it was a real message. So if it goes against everything with Supergirl, then that's just bad writing, or it's a plot hole, or whatever it is, or they want to say, oh, it's made up, or something like that. And even if they do a throwaway line in Supergirl where, oh, that's bullshit, that's just a slap in the face to the movie of Superman, because that's like, well, why would you put it in there if you're just gonna make it a throwaway line?
That's where I wonder if it's not Brainiac. That's the thing.
But again, Brainiac isn't in the movie, so there's no excuse.
This is the whole idea. This is bad writing. The fact that it's probably fake, but didn't put it in there because it's probably real. Like as far as I'm concerned, it's absolutely real. I know why it's upsetting. I just don't know why it's I just don't. Well, I can see why, but what no one has said is why it's upsetting versus why it's bad for the film.
You're completely changing the character of Jor-El.
Yeah, I don't like it for
you completely changing.
Yeah,
the
that's that's one of the biggest things about this movie that I don't like is the Jor-El thing. But I do 100% believe they're going to retcon it for sure.
Character destruction at its finest.
If they retcon it, it's only because of social media backlash.
Yeah, the backlash will make them do it. But as soon as I saw that happen in the movie, the first thing that went across my mind is like, oh, this is a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, this was dumb. This was stupid. James Gunn, why did you do this? Because anybody that's read a comic or even just watched the older movies is going to say, the did you just do?
And you know what?
Because Jor-El's awesome. Jor-El's awesome in every Superman movie, but this one.
Yeah.
Well, in Flash,
I mean, you're the goddamn Godfather play him in the original.
Well, and you got the
then-
glitch still. That's the only thing that makes me
Steph,
wonder.
if they don't retcon it and they left it open-ended, it's because if there was no backlash, they would have kept it. If there is backlash, well, now we can correct it. That's why they left
The only
it
reason I disagree
semi-open-ended
with
to
that
it.
is there's still a glitch in the file. That's the only reason I disagree with that. If there was no if it was a clean video file now, like they were supposedly able to like clean it out, then I would say there's something to that. But to me, the problem is there's still that glitch in the file, right? It jumps. So there's something either missing there or they manipulated or something that was changed. And I get it. It wasn't addressed. And I agree with you guys. That is poor writing, but it might necessarily, we got to kind of wait and see if it isn't set up for later on. I do have this gut feeling that when she plugged into that computer, because she lights up like a pinball machine and goes floating, and she's like, oh, like something just awakened inside of her. And then she's left, the engineer at the end is left damn near dead. So I have a feeling when we see her again, there's going to be something to that. I could be wrong. And if I am, I'll be like, I owe each and every one of you a drink.
Because she can connect to computers. That's why
credit.
I think they'll move Brainiac. I do think, in fact, the leaks say Brainiac is Brainiac is going to be the villain for the Justice League movie, probably.
An easy fix for that would just be when she plugged into the computer, she had the 3 lights on her
Well,
head.
here's the easy fix in Wonder Woman, Superwoman of Tomorrow, whatever the they're going to call it. Just say, oh, that line, that's bullshit. I was there.
Yeah,
that's what I think they're
that
going
would
to
make
do.
it even worse, though, if they
Yeah,
just
would.
throw it
It would
away.
if they did do it like that. Like I said, at the end of this movie, what they should have done is just said, like, had somebody there looking at the file or whatever and going, hang on, there seems to be something not right here. You don't even have to elaborate on that. As soon as you do that, it seems like, hey, maybe there was some corrupt something going on throughout, like, the broadcast of that file or whatever, blah, blah, blah. At least plant that seed already. The fact that they haven't even planted the seed makes me think that it is like Beardo said, that they were going to leave it like this and they were going to change Jor-El completely and they were going to make it a bit more like Mark Grayson and you know, Invincible, that whole storyline. But now with the backlash coming from
How are they going to do that? You'd have to have a Kryptonian war.
Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that I know.
Well, there's Zod. Absolutely, you can have a Kryptonian.
I don't think he's doing Zod.
Oh, yeah, Zod would show up.
You could use Zod.
You could always Zod.
You
I think
absolutely
Zod
could
might
use
even be
Zod.
left out of this. That's hard to say. It's we don't know. That's the thing. Because if it is real,
Actually, you could do his son.
I was just responding to Flash. If
like
there's going to be a Kryptonian war, and to his point, I was saying, well, they could because Zod is out there.
I don't think they'll use Zod. They'll use Zod's son, I think.
They could have used Mr. Terrific in this
Well,
movie.
he has
to
a
retcon it. He should have got
I
just
think
given
Ursula
instead of,
has a
like,
kid
oh,
with
yeah,
her, right?
It's not real.
I mean, if you want to go to that extent, who's to say Zod didn't corrupt it at the source before it was all sent? Like, we don't know. And that's the problem with us not having the origin story. And I agree with, look, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. This movie does feel like a second or third movie in a series that we haven't seen the first or second movie to. I totally agree. But if he'd have just done the origin story, that's what everybody would be bitching about, is that we've seen this 50 times now. We don't need another origin story. But at that point, it's like the door's left open to where let's say if it is real, because like, as I was finishing saying before, if it was Gary that corrupted it, right? So that wouldn't go on. It may feed into what's going on in Supergirl, because the whole thing with her in the movie is the reason she's supposedly getting drunk and doing all the shit she's doing and acting out is because of the loss that she feels.
She grew up on she grew up on Krypton, so yeah.
So if it is real, maybe she knows
it's harder
this.
for her than it is for.
I thought that was. I thought her story was going to be a story about grief, about losing Krypton.
That's what I just said. Yes, but what if it's also?
I don't
part
remember.
Of it?
It's based on Woman of Tomorrow or whatever that story. That's a Tom
Partially
King
that
book.
we know of,
Tom King is a cuck ass loser.
Yeah, that's a big
I
problem.
hate him.
Let me just say
Because anyone who's ever going to be trans,
Can I finish my point?
Yeah.
Can I finish my point real quick? Because I think, because this is what we're hearing, is that it's about that. What if part of her dealing with the, not just the loss of Krypton, but dealing with the idea that she knows that that Krypton was very misunderstood about what Earth is all about when she finally got here and realized what Earth really was. That might be what she's dealing with. And again, that kind of takes away this whole idea of that the message is bullshit, because it is real. But then that's the whole idea that, yes, but what that opens the door for is all these other Kryptonians that could show up at some point that are in like the Phantom Zone.
That's my theory, exactly.
So
like that.
if that's the case, then you're taking away the importance of the Phantom Zone and Zod, because the way Jor-El is right now, he wouldn't have disagreed with Zod.
I agree with you. And
so
that's another
Zod
thing.
wouldn't be in the Phantom Zone.
Beardo. So here's the thing, Beardo, and that's my point. So if Zod is a part of this, that then supports that the message is bullshit. Because why the would they put Zod in the Phantom Zone if he wanted the same goddamn thing that Jor-El wanted?
But the thing is, we don't know anything about Krypton in this movie.
I know.
That's the thing.
Way
That's
out
the
of
thing
the-
I was saying.
Yeah,
And I think
way
that-
out of pocket with all of this stuff.
And that's what I was pointing out from the very start.
I
I
think
answer
that
Dev's question though really quickly, because this
Yeah.
is the reason that I do not like what they did to Jor-El. One, it's character assassination, but from what I watched, and I might piss off a lot of people with the reason why I don't like it, but this is why I don't like it. At the very beginning, Superman looks up to his parents, looks up to Jor-El, and the message and what he wanted him to do. Right, this is his strong father figure that he has been taking advice from, and trying to live up to, and trying to do that from his strong father figure. And then they up the strong father figure, and they gave him, and I might make you mad, and that's fine, but they gave him a what does Ma Kent call him? What does he call him?
A jelly bean. I don't
They gave
remember.
him
Like
a softy father figure that cries.
She calls him a mush.
mush.
Because he gets
Mush.
very
They give him a
emotional.
mush father figure to now look up to, and
Mush
that's what
Why is it a bad
thing?
thing that your father loves you?
And that's totally fine, but here's the thing.
This is one thing I
It's
do
not-
want to fight
Yeah,
back
I
on.
don't.
Okay,
Yeah, I
let
want
me
to fight
fight
back on
this
that
real
too,
quick.
because
No,
I'm
let me say
a
this.
mush when it comes to
problem
my
with,
kids.
right?
Like,
Here's what I have a problem with. It's the
Let's see, let's
problem
let her
with
cook
how
real quick.
everybody around him reacts to him crying. You can love your son all you want, but when they make fun of you and they look down on you for having those feelings about your son, that's what I have a problem with. If that they're treating it like it is a bad thing that he likes this. Oh, he's such a mush.
I don't see
right?
that. She's
This is
just kind
the
of.
mother that's just, he does it all the time.
it's
which
like
means
an
he cries
enduring
all the
thing when she
time.
says it, though.
You know
It's
what I
not
mean?
her putting him down. She's like, "Oh, he's just a mush when it comes to."
He
Yeah, I
does it
agree
all
with
the time.
Flash.
That's
Yeah,
what- he does it all
that's the
time. He
dumbest
does it
criticism of this movie. I'm sorry,
Because
is
it's
the
so
father
much
crying
so-
about his
he
son
does
and
it
being
so much
his
so
son's
that he has-
Superman. Of course, he's gonna be proud of him.
Yes, of course he's proud of him. But my issue is how they react to it. They make it seem as if he does it so much. He cries over and over. He cries so much.
They only
that
say
she
it
makes
twice.
Fun of him. She calls him a mush.
But twice for the
I
limited
don't see it as
time.
I don't
I
see it
hated
as making fun of him.
I hated more the fact that they
Let me say this,
Y'all
please.
aren't gonna like my opinion on it, but that's how I look at it.
I
They
hated
gave
That's
them
fair
more
for her to have
because
that
they were
opinion, but let me
strong
say
father
this.
figure and gave him a mush father figure to look up to.
Okay,
hang on, I hated them more.
What's
just
wrong with
because
looking
of
up
the-
to a father that
Can I-
loves
let
him?
me- let me
That's
get this in
I
here
don't
real
see the
quick.
problem there. He loves his son.
Here's
See,
the
this
thing.
is the
a
kind of
guy-
shit.
I don't have a problem with that either.
This is
It's
the
how
kind of
people
shit that
around
I just
him
don't.
react to it. That's it. It's how the people around him are reacting.
mean
But they weren't
just
really
his
making
wife?
fun of him. It was like an endearment thing.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
mean
a
just
lot of
his
people don't
wife?
take it that
People
way.
talk like
It's
that
very
all the
southern.
time.
Like it's a very southern thing.
I had more of a
Yeah.
problem with them being like these hick dumb idiots.
They're based
where-
on real people.
I don't see where they made them dumb. They did the old thing where
Well, that's-
I
Oh,
know a
he
lot of
doesn't
people in
know
the
how to talk
South
to
that
himself.
talk
That-
like them, man.
phone
like,
call
she
at the
doesn't know how to talk
beginning-
into a cell phone.
I don't
That
know.
doesn't
Well,
mean
I
that
don't
they're
know,
making
but
them dumb.
that phone call at the beginning, I just didn't like that.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
but
just a
he's
that's
saying
a
that-
that's
the
a
thing
trope
is-
they use all the
But the
time.
thing is,
It's very
too,
important,
guys,
actually.
we only have a very limited amount of time with these characters. So whatever
That's what I was saying.
whatever you see from them is how people are going to interpret them, and they
And that's
do come
fair.
across.
But
as
I gotta
very,
say,
very
a
I gotta defend
father-
crying one more time.
A father
Listen, I'm a
crying
father
because he's
too,
proud of
and
his
I don't have
son.
And him crying is not the issue. I don't have a problem with him crying about his son.
The
being
crying
proud of
shit I
Clark.
can't stand. There was a
But
dude.
the fact
There was
is
a
that all
dude
we
that
see from Martha is her going, oh, he's crying again. Oh, he's all emotional again. And the thing is, you only have so much time.
Gonna be okay?
You only have so much time to establish that these are a loving couple that raised this kid well and gave him the inspiration that he needed to be a good person and to go out and be a superhero. And you know what? We've gotten that from all the other iterations of Clark's parents, and this is the first time we don't really get that from them, except for one little speech. And to be honest, it was very jarring from his dad to go from this like mush-mouth slow talker to this guy that had this really insightful, deep wisdom about making choices for yourself and not letting people dictate how you're supposed to make decisions. If he had talked like that the whole time, or came across as somebody who's like, oh yeah, he's nice and he's sweet, but he's also very insightful, maybe I would have liked it a lot more. But we get so little time with them, and he's belittled so much in that little bit of time that he's on the screen that it does.
See, I didn't feel that he got belittled.
I don't either. I think
I thought
it was bad. In fact, I think this is one of the few times we actually see a positive nuclear family.
Yeah, I saw it as a married
As a
couple.
man and a woman with a son. Whether or not he's adopted, there's still a strong nuclear family that loves each other. You don't even see that much.
Okay, the bigger problem here is we don't get enough time with the Kents. That is totally fair.
100%.
I mean, 10 minutes of their shit got on the cutting room floor, but that's true. But here's the thing that everybody misunderstands about when he's crying over Clark. He damn near just lost his son for the first time in his entire life. He has raised a kid who is practically invincible, and in the last 3 days, he almost lost him. For the first time.
Twice because he got beat up by the hammer.
He turns around, he goes, is my son going to be okay? And she goes, yes, he should.
I thought he was going to die.
In the moment that you have him,
I thought he was going to die, man. He gave him kryptonite poisoning.
So am I to believe that the mom has absolutely no love?
She
or
was
care?
crying in that scene too. That's why I'm not understanding.
She doesn't cry. She's the
That's
one
why
that
I'm not understanding. She was crying in that scene. With
she was too. They were both. They were worried as. They
They
thought
were
he was
both
going
right
to
there
die.
by the bed.
Martha knows her place in that household. Okay, she knows her place. She knows that's a kid involved between a father and a son. That's their bonding.
Except
time.
when she kicks the door
Wait,
open.
hold on a second. Wait. Hold on.
And it goes back in the house.
I got somebody that wants to jump on. Does anybody want to bounce out?
Yeah, I can if you want.
Actually, yeah, I gotta go.
I can go if you really want me to.
No, Rhino, you stay.
No, Rhino,
Hey,
stay.
drink.
I'm going to bounce out. But anyway, guys,
Well, you're the one who was making some good points. You've been quiet the whole show.
well, because I'm letting y'all kind of go at it. But
Yeah, me too.
man,
I'm letting
you're
you guys
like
talk. So everyone's
leaving me
talking at
hanging
once.
here.
But no, seriously, I got to bounce. But had a good time, and I'll talk to you guys later.
So let me go through a couple of super chats.
Sounds good.
Wes Max 33 for 20. I saw Superman today, and I agree with everything that Thomas said on ME over the week. The people I have seen criticize the movie are chasing ghosts, and I agree with the speculations he made about future DC projects.
I don't think that there's ghosts there.
Wait, hold on.
That's such an.
All right, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't think that there's really ghosts in the criticism. There is definitely legitimate criticism for this movie, but I can definitely see why people have got enjoyment out of it.
There's one criticism that I don't
I
don't like, and it's that Superman's supposed to be some man's man, masculine character. If you're looking for that, that's like Wolverine.
Oh, dude,
Superman has never been depicted as a man's man, masculine guy.
That was all Snyder shit.
That I think that's a Snyder bullshit.
That was Snyder bullshit.
That
was
God
not
allegory bullshit.
In this movie, you never got a Superman moment. You never got a
hold on.
moment out of Superman. Okay, hang on. Like what I mean is like that moment where he's standing there, right? Like the plane crash scene in Superman Returns, or even in the Snyder Cut.
So what do you call when he stopped the kaiju from falling on people?
Put the axe down, and he's just standing there in front of him, and the axe is just hit him in the shoulder.
Hold on a second. Wait. Hold on. There's some confusion.
He's talking about. He totally missed after that building falls and crumbles. He floats up out of the
as a chick is driving off and looking over her shoulder at him.
It's a cool shot, but it doesn't make much sense.
I'm sorry, that didn't play out the same way for me, Tom. I'm sorry, it didn't.
Hold on a second. The masculine thing, hyper masculine.
know what
man's
masculinity
man
is, actually?
character. That's not who Superman is. And the
He doesn't
stoic
have- no,
thing.
he doesn't have to
Hold
do
on
that.
a second. Wait. The
I'm
stoic
with
thing.
you, Flash.
The stoic thing is from like World War II. Saying he's stoic all the time. I mean, have you ever read the Silver Age comics or any of that? Like, he wasn't some stoic Jesus figure in all of those books.
But I'm
He
just
was
saying,
goofy as
you never
the,
got
the
even one of those
hyper
moments
masculine
in the
Superman. That's a
I'm not talking
Snyder
about
thing.
hyper-masculine.
Yeah,
No,
right. No, Rhino, we did.
I'm just
did
talking
get
about that moment where, like, you know, you go like, oh shit, Superman's arrived. Like, you never really get that moment at all.
I think you do when he shows up at the Daily Planet and Lex,
maybe
or not the Daily
once-
Planet, but Lex's thing, and he's about to run out the door, and he stops him right in his dead in his tracks.
There's maybe once where you get the hyper masculine when he blows open the doors and he asks where the dog is and he throws the
That
desk.
too,
I mean, that's more of an emotional outburst than a.
It's not a great
disagree
scene,
with the
but
way
you
it
see it a
plays
little
out.
bit.
I think the
hated
context
that.
it works.
I hated that.
I think in the context it works.
And I would have even loved the scene where he confronts Lex at that moment at the end of the film, and he tells him off, and he tells him, "Listen, man, I'm a good person, and my humanity is a strength." And then Crypto comes flying in the fucking room, and Hulk and Loki's him for no reason in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah, he
we have to
ruined
take,
it.
it takes more time to do that than it does for Superman to give his speech.
Yeah.
I
That's-
watch this
that's
dog
the actual
attack
moment
a
where-
regular human being.
That's the actual moment where you have Superman say to Lex, I stand for truth, justice, and the American way. And you should have actually,
Okay, can
that
we-
would have made that
No,
speech
can we
that he
stop
had there
that
so much better.
When has he ever said that in live act? I'm so tired. Oh, he needs to say.
He
true
said it
justice.
in Christopher Reeve's movie, sir.
Okay, well, here's where
He said it in the Christopher Reeve's movie, sir. He said it in the.
Fuck up,
That's right. Shut the fuck up, everybody.
Shut the fuck up!
Shut the fuck up, Chaos.
Shut your mouth!
See that. We don't need to see that.
He's
Rhino
a Canadian.
Flash.
He knows all
Hold on,
about
wait.
this.
Hold on, I gotta go through. I still need to get through a couple of super chats. I have some people that have spent a nice amount of. I gotta get to them.
So, Flash,
But,
after you're done
sir,
with super chats,
hold on,
Flash, after you're done
Kaida.
with super chats, I want to fork the conversation a little bit into something we haven't talked about. But do your super chats.
But, sir, Christopher Reeves did say, in fact, I'm here to
No, I
represent
meant the last
truth,
20
justice,
years.
and the American way,
Oh,
sir.
No, don't start backing it
That's
up.
what I meant.
I meant
Y'all
the
ain't
last
gonna hear me.
20
Y'all can't hear me.
last 20 years.
Y'all can hear it, okay? That's
Motherfucker. Last 20 years.
Now,
Last
hold on a
20
second.
20
Now,
years.
hold on a second, sir. Once again, I do have to say, sir, that is a cope. That is a cope point
Last 20
because
years.
Christopher Reeves is Superman.
Yeah.
The last 20
Yes.
years is what I meant.
That's wild, bro.
Okay,
When have you ever said that in live action?
I don't
In the
care.
last 5
Captain
years.
Salty says it's like an insult, but it's true though. Flash has to grift. Be quiet.
Yeah.
It's true.
Next super chat.
Bob Ross 199 says for 20, Beardo is gay.
Yeah.
Nah, I love you.
Thank you, Bob Ross.
He loves you. Lovers.
Bob
Appreciate
Ross
it.
is the best kind of Bob.
And then
Unicorn.
Mark of Reality for $50.
Is this still a fault?
No. We've already went past the 5.
It's on the 50?
I was only
Mark of
talking
reality for
about the
50.
last 20 years.
I think F.
Let it go.
Hold on. Mark of Reality for 50. I think Fantastic Four is going to be a puke fest. Waiting for this competition. Also, everyone stop interrupting Tom. He probably finds David Corn sweat.
I'm only 25% gay. Get that right.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. In fact, like
25%.
I can't get over the Silver Surfer thing. I don't care if it's an Oscar-winning movie. I don't like that. I also don't like that Invisible Woman is the leader. In fact, it's going to be worse than you think it is because in the comics, God damn it, Rhino. Hold on. In the comics recently, they off-panel demoted Reed Richards. They didn't even address it. She just addresses herself as the leader in an opening monologue for the book. I'm Invisible Woman, the leader. So
Does she announce herself like that?
Yes.
Everybody clap.
I swear to God, I'm not even making that up.
You need
Hold on.
Clap,
Hold
you
on.
assholes.
Let me pull that up. I actually
I was also
have
going to
it.
say Johnny Storm isn't going to be like the womanizer or the Casanova that he
No,
is.
he's going to be gay. I guarantee. I swear to
Probably.
you, he's going to be revealed as a homosexual in that movie.
Probably.
Watch.
He's a big cocksucker. But at the end of the day, this movie's not even properly titled because there's technically 5 of them. The baby's the one who saves the day anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Franklin
told you I
Richards.
knew I was gonna
Yeah,
go.
here it is, right here.
It's gonna be Sue Storm
And that's me, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. I bend light and energy, and I make my force fields with my mind. I lead the team. We're the
Wow.
Fantastic Four. There you go. She's the leader. They don't even give you anything else. That's it. So after Reed Richards leading the team since the 1960s, all of a sudden, Invisible Woman is the leader. I don't know why.
Pedro Pascal used to be,
But she's the leader now. I
She's been
swear
the
to you,
leader
this is
for the
how they
last 20
this is how they
years.
started off. Isn't that stupid?
Pedro
That's
Pascal.
wild,
Oh yeah.
At least we're going to be
Stupid. Oh,
united.
boy.
I think we're all going to be pretty united on criticism for Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I'm so
I have a
I'm so
feeling.
biased now with Pedro Pascal. I don't think I can ever watch anything with him again.
Scars are fun tonight will probably
Yeah.
be healed when Fantastic Four comes
I'm the
out.
same.
Yeah.
I can't stand Pedro Pascal. I think he's a
Still pretty
gigantic
wild that
piece
he-
of
that he
shit.
knocked up Vanessa Kirby though. That's pretty crazy.
Is that
I
real?
know
No.
No.
No,
the more
he's
we
just
hate him, the more
freak that
parts he
loves to
gets.
Put his hands
Listen,
on her.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care how gay the dude is. He keeps putting his hands on my wife like that. We're gonna have problems, bro.
Yeah.
Every time this guy's around her, his hands aren't just like, oh, hold my hand or nothing. This dude is grabbing on like hips, like body,
Mike,
chest, neck.
the
He's
hip
all
dip,
up in her stuff.
Understand, Mike.
He's been doing that for a long time.
I have anxiety.
I have
So
anxiety.
I have to put my hands all over women. See,
Yeah,
I
I
said
know.
the same thing, and I just get.
I'm just waiting for
Yeah.
the Pedro Pascal.
Don't worry
Me
about me
Too
rubbing on
part
your leg.
happening.
It's just because I have anxiety. It makes me feel better. So
Just
I don't know.
anxiety.
Wait, I thought
Yeah.
emotions were
He
okay.
touches women and has
Oh,
sex.
it's
with
even
The
worse
wet part
now.
in my pants
It's
is because
even
of my anxiety.
It's even worse now. So Scorching Flames points out something in the chat, and he's right. She refers to herself as Sue Storm. So either she's not married to Reed anymore,
Damn.
or she didn't take his name anymore.
Well,
No,
probably
he's
took the name.
Reed Storm now. You missed that. He's Reed Storm. So
I did like an
Oh,
eye
God.
dubs. and took her name.
I would believe that.
this is the thing, guys. Like, I get it.
Hold
This
on,
may
hold
not
on.
be the most overly masculine Superman, but it could be so worse. Let's get real. But anyhow, that being
Elite
said, finish the
Neo!
Super Chats, yeah.
For $50. Obviously, the stream is going to get more interesting the more alcohol you guys consume. So, and Beardo, if you don't have any alcohol on hand, you got your smelling salts. And Mike, got any cake to indulge in?
I don't have any cake in the house now.
I got my smelling salts. I can do
Actually,
some.
we have some chocolate cake.
Beardo's drinking, actually. I'm pretty sure he's having a beer.
I do have some beers. I'll do some smelling salts.
I've never done myself.
I'm the only one who takes shots from here on out. So
No, I'm doing
No,
shots.
Rhino is.
you
In
are?
fact,
Oh, yay! Okay.
speaking of that, we got Nolan! $100.
Now get out of here.
$100. The ad said 3,000.
I missed the part where that's my problem. Hey, what the hell?
I need that money.
I need
Cheers.
that money. Cheers, Nolan.
Damn, Nolan. He does sell drugs. He has to.
Yeah, he does
Yeah.
something.
Laundering. Yeah.
He does something shifty.
Like a game CEO or some shit.
Hold on a second. Don't
Gotta love
disgrace the
Nolan.
greatnest of Nolan around here.
No, you can't.
I'm
He's
not
bringing
Another-
in the
another
secrets
one.
across the border.
Another one.
Another
Another
one.
one.
Shouldn't $100 mean you chugged the entire bottle? It's only fair.
Can we talk about crypto for a second?
No.
Okay.
Nah,
Greatest part of this movie.
Well, we
absolutely.
can, but but first, Nolan for another $100. It's actually been sitting for a little bit, so that's why I wanted to get to both
Yeah,
of them. Sorry,
I know.
Rhino.
It's
We got to do
okay.
it back
Well,
to back.
I did
Yeah.
have something that I think is a little bit more important than
Cheers.
crypto. We can do crypto first if you want, Rhino.
Cheers, Nolan. Let me just say this, and then obviously it'll blow up. So
Hold on, wait. Before you say it, crypto. If we're gonna jump on him, I was in a packed theater. I think we probably all were, right? Because we
Yes.
all saw it in the
I
preview.
was, yeah.
Relatively
All
packed,
the
yeah.
women and kids
Love
ate up every time that little bastard was on the screen.
And
not in my theater.
I hate
In
it.
mine, every time he came on the screen,
Yep.
little kids were
all
oohing and
Everybody
awing.
giggled and laughed and
Yeah.
snorted. and there
Yeah,
was even
not
Stupid guy.
I think
Not
that little
Shane.
fucker, is going to do exactly what he's
First
in the
time
movie
it
for.
did better than
He's
than
going
the second
hold
time,
on,
but
Tom.
yeah.
Wait. See, now you're interrupting me,
Sorry.
Tom. He's going to do exactly what he was designed to do: sell toys
Yep.
and merchandise.
Cool.
And you
sell
know
lots
that's the plan because they sell a goddamn dog bowl
Yep.
As a
in the
popcorn
gift
bucket,
thing.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna sell
Fucking
And I
wow.
almost bought one just because I thought it was. I have a dog, so
Well,
Mm.
my thought, like, if I can just quickly say this about crypto, and like I said, it'll probably blow everything up. But crypto for me, like, first of all, if you're a dog owner
Oh no.
and your dog is anything like crypto,
Right.
don't be a dog owner. Learn to
Okay.
train your
Cool.
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck you,
Cool.
like, man, this dog would have killed Lex in with what he did to him. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, he killed Ultraman.
There was a lot of goofy stuff
did
coming
kill
from crypto. I hated him playing with the
No, he
monkeys
didn't.
at the end of
He
the
did.
movie in celebration. Like,
Yep.
there was so much about crypto that I'm personally I just didn't like.
Crypto's not
So-
realistic at all because
Fucking
that dog would
cook.
basically like. First of all, Superman's not even really watching him, and like that dog would like in real life. If crypto existed, that thing would be on a killing spree, killing children and shit.
That dog's
It
kind
would
of a
see some
psycho.
kid- it would see some kid throwing a ball, it would go berserk. Like crypto would be like the monkey in Nope. If you ever
I
watched that
disagree
movie?
with that because dogs do tend to know where their limitations are. And
Okay,
if you
then
do
That
notice,
dog
he
has no.
Wait.
limitations.
Hold on a
That dog
second.
literally almost
He's
kills Lex
Hold
learning
on.
Luthor.
Wait. I fucked something up.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Rhino.
Oh no!
Leave review for $100.
All right, that's gonna me.
It's been sitting. I wanted to hit it because I mean it's been sitting. I think he makes a pretty good point too.
Very good point, actually.
So he says for 100. Hold on, let me read it and then we can take the shot. On the Superman always gets beat, Lex Luthor had 3 years and multiple plans to off Superman. It was a great struggle for Superman. Plus the monkeys, anyone could make AI chatbots. Only Lex is smart, crazy enough to make a dimension and enhance monkeys to be X-Trolls.
Yeah, it was the bad guy, the Ultraman guy I was fighting is just basically the power of Superman with the brain of Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor who has 3 years to memorize and plan and strategize against every move Superman had made. So it wasn't like some like ridiculous idiot. It was Lex Luthor with the power of Superman, essentially fighting Superman.
I like that though, because that's Lex Luthor. He is
Absolutely.
Than
I loved
Superman.
it.
And
Like,
in
it's
a
good.
lot of ways, he's better than Superman.
Lex
Besides
had
his
prep
strength.
time.
Yeah, he had 3 years of prep time, and basically gave himself a like a proxy body in terms of Ultraman, and then gave Ultraman 3 years of Lex Luthor level strategization to fight Superman. That's why he lost.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
I
As
cheers.
long as he can control him, because once he's not in control of him, the dude is dumb as rocks. And Lex even says he's dumb, which is why I have to control him. So it's not like
Superman won.
That is the only reason that he's as smart as Luthor, because Luthor controls him.
Yeah.
That's why
And then at the end of the movie, Superman won. He beat him.
yeah, because Lex is no longer controlling him, and with the
Right.
help of crypto,
'Cause-
he is able
'cause, yeah,
to defeat
He had a
Ultraman.
dog. Because there was a dog.
the
All
dog just eats
I-
the cameras and
Can
hits
we
him
please-
once. Jesus.
Can I-
He kills
talk
him in
about
the
the
end.
fact
To get
that-
Superman off the ground when he's about to get his.
Why do they not mention the fact that there is a Superman clone right there, and that doesn't affect Clark at all?
Nothing.
He does say that.
Exactly.
No,
And
I'm
he's just
saying
like,
like
"I'm gonna
he
kill you,
should
let me send you to a black hole." Die
He should
dead.
have been wanting to make sure that this dude, like, tries to care for him or something. Like, it really doesn't really affect him at all.
Cook.
Like, he
Well,
doesn't go,
I have a
like-
few issues with
Hold
Ultraman
on.
in this movie, and that's what I wanted to talk with.
Sorry, before you do get into that, Beardo, I want to give Script an opportunity.
He hasn't
like,
said
he's-
shit.
he's come in, yeah, he hasn't been like.
Well,
just
we've had to catch up on super chats a little bit, and I still have 3 more that I need to for sure get out soon.
No,
But
and
let's
give
hold
those
on,
generous donors the attention they
wanna hear
deserve, sir.
let Script Doctor go. Go ahead and
thoughts on it.
get your rant out, man.
My rant. I don't have much of a rant. It was a very fun comic booky movie. I've been sitting on the fact that David Corns. Oh, did we do spoilers?
Yeah, we've been spoiled.
Yeah, I've been sitting on the fact that David Cornswell has been Ultraman for the last year and a half. So it's been fun. It was fun to see him fight himself there. That was cool. Performances were great. Chemistry was good. Mr. Terrific has a really way better depiction than what he was done on the CW.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Guy Gardner was great. I knew Nathan Fillion would knock it out of the park, even though so many people keep saying he should be Hal Jordan. It's like, yeah, he's already done Hal Jordan. Let's give him something new. There's nothing wrong with that. I also think it was kind of silly how one of the complaints I've been seeing is that people are asking for a bit more origin of Superman, even though those same people would argue everybody knows the origin of Superman. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Well, it seems that they've changed the origin of Superman.
How they changed it?
They have changed it. Well, Jor-El is not Jor-El
So,
that we
being
know.
that they've changed the origin, we kind of need an
So
origin, don't we?
you guys believe in Lex Luthor?
Well,
Well,
as
the
far as-
movie goes out of its way to move the plot along and
As
say,
far
just
as
trust
the
me.
movie
bro."
has told us, then yes.
Definitely that's what
Mr.
the
Terrific
case is.
says that he knows the people that analyze that footage
Yeah.
and they know what they're
Trust me,
doing.
bro. I know there's
And
gonna
Lex
be a
definitely
tech
and
guys.
Lex definitely seems genuine when he does say, "Well, you'd be surprised, but no, I didn't have to
I
do
like the
anything."
movie Script Doctor. I agree.
Yeah,
I will not what you say, but the Jor-El shit sucks. And it's
I don't know if that's
shitty
true or
writing.
not. All I know is that we have the movie goes out of its way to tell us that Lex Luthor is not to be trusted.
The movie also
But it also goes out of
confirms
its
it.
way to tell us to believe the authentication.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And that's where I
just
say that
how the government for 3 years told us to believe in certain things.
Yeah, but you think
happening in
James
the
Gunn was thinking that when he wrote this?
I don't think Mr. Terrific, the way they set him up, would
No.
lie to Clark Kent.
No, I don't
Because
think
he comes off
as
as he's out of all of them, he comes out as the one that's like a genuine friend.
You also have to take the movie for what it's given us.
Yeah.
You can't look to the future and say they're going to retcon it in this show or this
Oh no,
movie.
there wouldn't be a retcon.
And,
It'd be a
and
payoff.
this
There's a difference
singular
between a retcon and payoff. If
well,
you don't
in
know the
this
difference, I'll
singular
explain it to
movie-
you. I'll explain to you what a retcon is.
Oh,
a
shut the
retcon
fuck up.
would be
In
no.
this,
a
no, I'm
retcon-
good. I'm good.
No, a retcon
in
is
this
when Lois
singular
Lane no longer
movie,
knows
in
Superman
this
and
singular
Clark Kent are the same
movie,
thing.
it's
a payoff
told
is where you get
that
a closure
all right.
of what's going on. You can keep talking over what I'm saying all you can. It's just showing how ignorant you're going to be at this moment. But I'm explaining to you
Who's this guy?
something that's very important that maybe even the audience might not understand because they like to conflate things. But as I said, a retcon would be in a sequel where they say Lois now no longer knows Clark Kent is Superman. That is a retcon. A payoff would be, we
They
get
did
more
Superman
information
2.
regarding what Lex Luthor did when he was at the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Script. So the payoff would be that they actually had it planned out to begin with. A retcon means that they never actually had it planned out and now they have to change it. That's the difference. Which it still doesn't make any difference to this particular movie in the way that it's portrayed in this movie, and that they could have paid it off even a little bit better with a little thing at the end of them saying, yes, we've gone over this message, and it does seem like there might be some corruption going on within the...
But also...
Well,
like
we also
something
got a
a
little
little
bit
bit
of that.
something.
Hold
The
on.
fact
But
that
also-
with that at the end when the journalist says it looks like we owe Superman an apology because he is in fact the hero we always thought he was.
Yeah, because they realized that Lex, they revealed all of this stuff from Lex, but none of that revelation that came from all the information that was dropped about Lex had anything to do with that message being doctored. Or
I know, but they didn't. Did they address anything else? No, they didn't. That's my point
No,
before.
I
It was
know,
poor
I know
writing.
that,
At
Tom.
that
I
moment,
get it.
that was my point I was trying to make, is that when they dropped that, I think
Tom.
we're just supposed to assume that everything Lex did was bullshit. Because even though he told that other president, let me finish, even though he told that other president, oh, it's real, I didn't even have to doctor it, he may be telling the truth because there's other parts to this we don't know yet, like we were talking about. But the
I
other
get
side of this
that.
is, wouldn't Lex, let me say this for once, I have been trying to say this the whole show. Lex Luthor is the kind of guy, especially if he can control the source, he would want it not just verified, but ultimately verified so nobody could question it whatsoever, over verified beyond verification.
You've heard me play devil's advocate
And
on
he
this.
had control of it from the
I hate what
start.
it is. I hate what it is, and I hate what they did in the movie. right? The fact of the matter is that whether or not it's a retcon or whether or not it's a payoff doesn't really matter because we don't even know at this point in time, and we're probably never going to know. All we can go off is what this movie has given us, the fact that it has been verified by apparently multiple people in the movie.
We never see on the screen.
And at the end of the day, the way that has been portrayed throughout the entirety of the movie, from the moment that we got it, it has been basically played off as this is real. That is what it really comes down to. So, yes, at the end of the day, in the next movie, they might retcon it. They might pay it off. It
Wait, hold on, Rhino. Are you sure you're...
Wait, hold on a second, real quick.
Rhino, are you
hold
sure
on,
you know what
wait,
retcon
hold on.
means?
Somebody in the chat called this an echo chamber. Are you retarded?
We haven't agreed
Have
on
you not
anything
been
the whole
watching the
stream.
last
You
video?
retarded person or
Also,
something like that? Like,
the
are
other
you
thing
fucking
is-
kidding me?
Maybe they're being ironic.
The other
I
thing
don't
here
know.
is, like, the reason people are upset about it is because we know that Jor-El, this is uncharacteristic for Jor-El, because we all know the source material, we all know the origins of Superman, that James Gunn said wasn't necessary for this film because we already know it. So anytime you deviate from it, if you're
just
if you're
assume that
but if
it's
we should
bullshit.
assume that it's not true, but the movie tells you that it is true.
No, Lex
Multiple
Luthor tells
times.
us that is
No,
true.
Mr.
Lex
Terrific
Luthor
says
tells us true.
Multiple
he
people
goes
say
out of
that
his
is
way
true.
to say to you,
Again,
to say to Clark,
oh my
Clark,
God.
I know these guys, they're real smart. This is probably real.
Okay,
and then
Mike,
Lex
let me
says
say
in
this.
Lex says in a separate moment,
Hey, hold
in a
on.
private
I know,
moment,
and I've
where he has
already
no
addressed
reason to
that.
lie,
Let Tom go next.
how convenient it was that he had that the footage was actually saying what he needed it to say. He was like, it was just really convenient for me that it worked that way. To a
And
guy
you
that he has
believe
no
him?
reason to
All
lie
right,
to.
let Tom
Yes,
go
he has
next.
every reason to lie. Because it completes his agenda. It's purely logical. Why would he
But that's
ever tell
speculation because the
anyone-
movie
Hold
goes out
on,
of his way
Mike, I let you
twice.
speak. Mike, I let you
That's
speak.
true.
He goes out of his
I
way
let you
twice
speak,
to tell
Mike.
you this.
Mike, I let you speak. You will listen now. That is courtesy. Let's exercise a little bit of that.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
if
go
Lex were to, if Lex were to tell anyone, even his closest ally, that this would that this message was fake, they could use that against him.
Mm-hmm.
So he
Lex
would
has a
never
whole
tell anyone that
prison
it's fake if
where he
it's
can put
fake.
them.
Doesn't matter how close they are in partnership or anything. It is up to him to maintain the illusion by never breaking his story to anyone, anytime, ever.
That
Yeah.
sounds like
And that's a
some
great point.
bullshit.
Except
That's
I have a
awesome.
counterpoint
Lex
to
has
you.
a
Find out at
whole
the end.
prison where he
Wait a
can
minute,
put them in.
counterpoint.
Sorry, I
Counterpoint
can't
to
hear you over
this.
Steph. One sec. Sorry. Yes.
Counterpoint. Lex gets taken down by his girlfriend, who takes selfies of all of his secret plans, and that's how he gets taken down because he didn't do the due diligence to stop her from taking selfies with every single secret plan that he had ever had initiated towards Superman.
Yes,
But Mike, and this is what I've been trying to say for the last 5 minutes. Even though those things are true, you're not wrong. At the same time, Lex Luthor says flat out, I did all this shit not because I wanted half of a country. Are you insane? Because we're supposed to think, just like everybody else is, that's what this is really all about. No, he orchestrated all of this to kill Superman. So I agree with Script that even some of the closest people to him, he's going to hold some of this shit close to the chest. Right? He is not going to tell everybody everything. And yes, he got sloppy with her. She was smart enough and he got sloppy and wasn't paying attention. He just thought she was being ditzy and taking selfies. But I agree with Script. At the end of the film, the reporter flat out said, and that's what I was trying to say before, is that we now realize that Superman is a hero we thought all along and Lex Luthor is not. So we're basically left to assume that everything he's done and said has been a lie and been all for this other reason to kill Superman. And not just kill Superman, but kill him publicly in his image, kill him physically when he gets the chance, and do it in a way that is legal so that nobody can question him and he is seen as a goddamned hero. And that is why he sheds one tear at the end, one tear when he realizes everybody in the world now knows that he is a piece of shit, right? Like that is what that's the last thing he wants, because he wants everybody to love and adore him.
But despite what happens,
Wait,
to
hold
Lex-
on a second. I want to say
doesn't
one thing.
indicate-
Can I
that
just want to
doesn't
say I just want to say one thing. Isn't it great? So we've been talking for 2 hours, right? I'm going to take the 36 minutes off.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we haven't talked about woke nonsense. We haven't talked about any kind of bullshit that we see in a lot of other things. Like, it has just been like nerd fight.
We haven't talked about Ultraman at all.
But I'm just saying, like,
But
for the
the point
most
is,
part,
yes,
this
we're
has
talking
been
about
fun.
the
It's
movie.
fun that we're just talking about the
Yeah.
movie. We're not talking about any woke nonsense. Like we're just having fun. This is like a nerd fight. This is how it used to be.
It's how it used to be before the
Can I-
dark
can I
times.
say
happened.
something?
I do want to
think-
say
I
that
think
I think that Tom is a shill. I just want to say that right now.
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick? I think that Lex 100% would be totally fine with saying stuff about his plan in front of people because he has a whole pocket dimension full of people where, I mean, he literally threw an ex-girlfriend in there for writing a negative blog about him, right?
Can I-
So if he says something about the authentication of this message, and you know he has one little inkling of whether or not these people are going to go against him, he has a whole pocket dimension where he can put them. So
Can he
I
also,
but
I
he
want to
didn't do anything
piggyback
so I
off
think
of
that,
that.
I think that he could put them there when the reporter is saying that you know we owe a whole apology to Superman or whatever. Here's the thing: it's so easy to put just like a little bit of text. It's what I said earlier. It's so easy to put a little bit of text underneath. You know, video was whatever authenticate or not revealed to be a fake or something like that, and now we owe a huge apology to Superman. It's so easy to just put that there, but
Well, the
I don't
apology
think
implies that
if
everything
it's
that
not
that Lex
yet.
has done
If
is
they if they're
scrutinized.
gonna do it later on,
We don't know that.
you know, if they're gonna change it later on and say it was fake later on, then that's fine. But you know, it was really easy to just put that text underneath that, and that's why they're apologizing to Superman for even insinuating that what Lex possibly said could be
Can I
true.
interrupt real quick?
I think that
not
the
to be mean.
payoff
I
in
just,
this
I
movie-
gotta go.
I knew he was gonna go.
Yeah,
Spoiler
I'm
alert.
okay. I need to go to sleep. But all I want to my last question before I leave is this: trunks or no trunks? Which do you like better?
Trunks.
Trunks.
I like
Definitely
trunks.
trunks.
I like the
Except for
trunk.
costume.
Strong man wrestling trunks.
If you
That's
do it
the
right,
whole
I don't
point
do
of
it
it.
either.
Not only did it kind of balance out his
This
costume,
whole
it makes
discussion,
him
which has been
different
a
from Man
lot
of Steel.
to just listen to, I still don't think this movie's great, but I'm happy
My
if you guys
man.
like it or not. But I think it's personally, I wouldn't mind another reboot, but that's just me. So
My
I wouldn't mind
man.
a sequel.
I would personally
Music.
never want to see another Superman movie
I mean,
of this person. That's just me. I don't know. I don't think it's interesting enough for a sequel personally, but I know no one will agree with me on that. And that's fine.
I guess
I
it's
agree
going
with
to
you.
depend on how much those cryptos sell.
Yeah, I kind of just want to see
Crypto
another
coin.
Batman, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's like the only thing
you
I
don't
care
come out with a
about pretty
crypto
much.
coin
at
and be
this point.
disappointed.
Yeah, the thing with this movie, so the budget is what it is and how much it needs to make. But one thing I'm curious about with this movie is, so what saved Godzilla USA was those toys. Because
Mhm.
King of the Monsters, was that the name of the second one? Was it King of the Monsters?
Right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That movie bombed at the box office, but the toys sold.
Yep.
And that's why you have Kong versus Godzilla now and its sequels, because kids are buying these toys like crazy.
Yep.
So
And
if
their
the
toys are cool.
if the crypto merchandise sells and takes off,
I hope it
you know, I
doesn't.
wonder if that will help the
Oh, it
box
certainly
office.
will. It'll be like Grogu.
But we don't know if they're selling. And
probably
I don't even
video,
know.
yeah.
I don't even know if they released that date.
Actually,
makes me
I've been
like
hearing-
Grogu. Okay, crypto makes me want to see.
he's like a
Grogu.
Grogu.
Okay, I fucking hate
that's
crypto. I
it.
hate him.
Yeah, look, and this is coming from somebody who's not a big fan of crypto. I've been hearing from people that they've been selling out of the plushies at the theaters.
Wow.
Of course they have. We always
Yeah, but
hear
what
that-
about
Yeah.
the stores and like that's
I
the
don't
big
know.
thing.
I haven't seen or heard
I
anything
haven't
about
seen
that.
a crypto plushie.
I
They're
haven't
at the
looked.
theaters, I guess. Yeah, they're hard to find stuff. That's what I guess. Like, because Nick is
Uh,
talking about how his kids wanted them and all this other
Well,
shit.
I
too,
saw
yeah.
them at the theater. I just haven't seen them in like Target.
Oh, I don't know if they have them in stores. I think they're
yeah,
exclusive
that's what
to
I'm
the
talking
theater.
about. Like I haven't seen them in
See,
stores.
and that's part of the thing here. And this was a story that came out a little while ago where the popcorn buckets and the merch that they're carrying in the theaters now are making more money for the theaters than the actual movie is. The Minions movie made more money merchandise wise in theaters than it did on screens.
Of
So they
course
sold
it
more
did.
merch.
When they're charging 20, 30, 40 bucks for a
Yeah,
bucket
exactly.
$2.
Ooh, is that
Like,
why?
of course.
Is that why the Fantastic Four popcorn bucket is like $80?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why
Oh,
they have multiple
Galactus?
ones with a
The
big ass
Galactic
one.
Crazy.
one, yeah, it's like
100%.
I hate that one. I would
Making
not
10
buy that. What a waste.
No way.
Where do you put it?
It's
making
big as shit.
making 10,000% profit.
I've rarely been into the popcorn buckets. The
Honestly,
only time
how
there's
can you
only
make
two
one
that
better
I've.
than this anyway. I mean, this is the ultimate popcorn bucket
I-
right here.
I
Jaws.
like
mean,
the-
Serious popcorn bucket.
I like the Echo One
How can
Ghostbusters
you do
popcorn
this?
bucket, But I also
That's
Oh, I
pretty
have
great.
I do like the newspaper Daily Planet popcorn bucket.
Yeah, I almost got that one. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
that was pretty
like
rad.
the I
Man,
like
if anybody out there listening can get me one of those, I'll
Oh, I
we'll
wish I
pay
had known.
for
I
it.
would have got you one, man.
Yeah, I
You
want
did.
that one.
Oh, I
I
didn't know
like
you
that.
wanted it.
Yeah.
It doubles as a coin
coulda
bank,
got for
so
you. Yeah, it
I would
does.
use it as a coin bank because it's.
Yeah,
I like that one.
if you can find one and send it, that would be great. It's hard for me to get them here because
Yeah, I'll pay you
here
back.
we have our own like chain of theaters. So like Regal, Cinemark, those aren't here. There's like very few of them because we have our own chain of theaters and they don't have popcorn buckets there, which pisses me off.
That
So
sucks.
I want the
Yeah.
ghost trap. The ghost trap from Ghostbusters. That's the one that
Yeah,
I
that's the
That was
other
one of
one
the
that I
ones I
liked. I
missed.
like that one.
That's the one I
Believe it or
want.
not, that's one of the only ones I couldn't get my hands on was the Ghost Trap one. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that thing was
Yeah, the
rad.
ghost trap one looked sick. And the Batman signal. The Batman signal one that looked pretty
That
cool
one is
too.
pretty badass. That's probably the
I have
second
that
or
one.
Yeah, I
this
know
one's
Steph's
pretty
got that one.
badass.
And then Tom's
Yeah.
got that one as well, yeah. That
All right,
one's awesome.
let me get a couple
yeah.
of these $20 super chats. Gabriel Knight for 20. What's been more decisive and controversial this week? James Gunn's Superman or the Jeffrey Epstein files?
James
I would
Gunn-
hope the Epstein
I was
files.
going to say, I think the Epstein files thing, because that's going across the aisle, and you're getting a lot of people that are, MAGA and Trump that are like, what the? To where
We're
this,
gonna
look,
talk
I'll be
about
honest
that
with you guys.
before
I
the
think a
stream
lot
ends.
of the discourse with Superman is mainly in our circles here. Like, I don't think it's the general public having these conversations. And
I
if
would
they
agree
were,
with that. Yeah.
it wasn't until more recently when like Variety and all these other people were trying to push this MAGA. Is this movie's pissing off MAGA? All that shit.
I gotta
Yeah.
say, it does seem like a lot of the media before this movie came out had it out for.
Oh, we
it.
got more proof of it too. But trust me,
How
that
do
article that just came
quickly-
out from
Well, a lot of these leaks
how do
that
you
came
think-
out were perfect for channels like us.
How do you think the normies are going to receive this movie?
I don't think they'll care.
They're gonna like
I'm
it.
loving
They
it.
say
like
for the
it.
most
They're
part,
liking
they
it.
like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my kid doesn't like a lot of superhero stuff, and my kid watched it and was like, I don't really like superhero stuff normally, and I really like this movie. I was like,
Okay.
that's awesome.
I think
I'm glad.
everyone's tired of Marvel. This Marvel sludge.
Well-
I think everyone's tired of that.
and another thing is I think that a lot of us underestimate how much the actual public, like, we talk more nerdy about these movies than anybody else, right? We got to
yeah.
always remember that. And then the other half of
This is for you, Tom. Sorry to cut you off, but after I watched Midnight Edge's video about the media, that whole immigrant MAGA thing that the London Times asked, it was total bait.
Yep.
this is
James
Zaslav
Gunn it up.
syndrome. Yeah.
James Gunn really up in the interviewing for this movie. If this movie bombs, it's on James Gunn for answering the questions very stupidly. He
at the same
pumped
time,
up that immigrant thing, which
not
never needed to
necessarily.
happen.
If you read the actual quote, though, that's not what he said. He
Right,
said,
but he
yes,
should have
it's
never.
always-
But he still said the words, and it got used, and whatever you want to say about
It
taking
takes
it out of
both his
context,
quotes
he
together.
still said it, and he should have been
He also
smarter.
said the movie's about a flying dog. Don't take it too seriously, and they didn't print that part.
Doesn't
That was the whole
matter. He
point of our
still gave them
video.
what he needed. There was already
I
a
agree with you.
lawsuit
I
on this
agree
with
with you.
Kamala Harris and Trump getting this stuff.
I agree
The
with you
media does
wholeheartedly.
this. He should have been smarter about it.
That's the
He
whole point of our
fucked
video.
that up.
But at the end of the day, though, we need to be
That's
smarter.
why I don't
My
understand
point
why
is
you're
this.
arguing with me on it.
No. What I'm saying is this: is like, we need to remember that these are the same people that we've been saying are wrong about all this other shit for so long. Why all of a sudden are people trusting them about Superman? That's what I've been trying to say here. It's not you I'm arguing with, Flash. It's like that was what I was kind of was the impetus of a lot of this shit. And I did all the digging, and Andre and I did all the research, and I know the people I've talked to. Like, this is all because of David Zaslav. And what they're trying to get out of James Gunn is that they want a gotcha question from him so they can either A, say, yes, see, he's still an ally, even though he's working with the devil, right?
Yep.
Or they want him to just this movie up because they want Zaslav to fail because he is not one of them, right? It's just like Trump. He is not a politician. Zaslav was not a movie mogul. He was a cable guy. They don't want a cable guy running a studio. That bothers them. It's okay for a former weatherman named Bob Iger to run a company named Disney. That's okay. But it's not okay for the guy who made Discovery, the must-have app, run Warner Brothers. That's not cool. He can have more hits than anybody's had in the last decade at Warner Brothers, but they're going to still shit on him because why? I'll tell you why. He's a known conservative. That's why. That's the bottom line, because Bob Iger's a lefty. All the other heads of studio, except for maybe Tom Rothman, are all lefties. They know for a fact this is a righty, and they don't like it. They don't want him there. And they will do anything they can to tear him down. Notice how they'll always point out this and this and that flopped, but they'll leave out Minecraft, they'll leave out Barbie, they'll leave out Beetlejuice, they'll leave out Dune, they'll leave out Godzilla vs. Kong, they leave out all the movies that Warner Brothers has had more hits than any other studio in the last 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole thing is this media
Boy,
complex has wanted to just terrorize this guy, tear down this studio, and then you have the other side of it with the Snyder Bros, but I don't even think they're making a scratch on this. But that was the thing earlier too I didn't get a chance to say is like, yeah, my guy
They're
said
very
that
loud though.
here was the thing when that whole thing came out that people thought that this monkey thing had to do with James Gunn being canceled. The part I wanted to finish up with is when I said that I think it has more to do with the Snyder Bros. Later that same day, my guy come to me and said, yes, you're more on point. And when he was asked about it in an interview, he's like, it doesn't mean anything, but he was smirking about it. I think that was his little jab to the Snyder Bros. Just like I kind of think Ultraman looks the way he does, almost kind of like Black Suit Superman does in this Justice League Zack Snyder film. So yes, I agree with you guys. There are some things in this movie he let invade that he shouldn't have. I didn't like that. I didn't like the punk music.
I still think that the entire
like the punk music
story of this movie is so shallow
the
to
second
the
time.
point where it is literally just Superman defeating a cancel campaign put out there by Lex and flips the Uno reverse card on Lex.
He
and
also
basically-
saves the Earth though because of the rip from
it's a big storyline.
Well, he didn't really do that, did he? It was
Mrs.
kind of like
Terrific
that was
did,
Omni-Man or
Actually,
whatever.
he did. He
the fuck
forced
his
him
name
to put the code in, basically. Yeah.
All right, hold on, real quick.
All the heavy lifting.
Real quick. Ministry of Wrong, thank for 20.
Put in the code.
Mr. Terrific, there, Omni-Man.
He did.
I don't know these
He
fucking
was holding
characters'
everybody
names.
else at
This is
bay
the
when
other
he was
thing
doing
too that I was
Oh,
actually
well.
afraid of. Sorry, just really quickly, Flash. This is the other thing that I was actually really afraid of is that there was no build up to these characters. Like at least with the MCU, you had the individual character movies, and then you got the Avengers
Why?
movie. Which gave you the
Why do we
whole
need to
thing.
know who these characters are?
Well,
Like,
fuck,
who cares?
as a guy that actually had no idea who any of these other characters were.
I actually
then
agree with James Gunn
David-
on that thing he said in an interview. Why do we need to see everyone's origin? You can just introduce them.
You don't need everyone's origin, but you still need.
I agree with it, and he's done that consistently quite a bit in Suicide Squad. Nobody knows who the a lot of those characters are.
The characters like when you're doing a Green Lantern that's not Hal Jordan, you need to give us something.
You got to be a normie completely if you don't know who Guy Gardner is.
I know who Guy Gardner is.
I'm not even a huge Green Lantern guy, and I know who Guy Gardner is.
Well, here's what
got me to buy some comics.
Like, that's not even like I know who he is. Like,
okay,
he's been around.
Okay, let me say this.
Is a normie out there gonna know?
I can't even really tell you shit about Guy Gardner other than he's just like
well,
the
we're gonna get a
dickish.
Green Lantern show.
The Green Lantern. He's like the dick Green Lantern. That's all I know about him, really.
I didn't know who he was at all.
Normie out there gonna know about Hulk?
Yeah, I don't know who really a lot about him. Rhino is my point, though, but I know who he is. He's a Green Lantern.
Yeah, the only thing that the normies are going to know is that they're the Justice Gang. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
heroes.
all, because they consistently call themselves the Justice Gang.
And I'll watch that show or movie.
That's all they will know.
Definitely a normie when it
about
comes to
a normie
DC,
going and
myself.
watching this doesn't know anything about DC. Doesn't know any about.
I
any
just
of
never
these
liked
characters.
the Green
That is all
Lanterns.
they will know about this is that they are the Justice Gang. That's it.
The only time I've cared about Green Lantern, the only time I've ever given a fuck about Green Lantern was the Justice League Batman universe cartoon. And I liked Jon Stewart because he was on that team.
Great.
He's awesome on that.
The role of Justice Gang
But
has
he's
to
like
play
the
in
only
movies.
Green Lantern I give a fuck about, and it's because I like that show.
Their
I
entire
like
role.
that.
in movies
I will
is
say I
like
like
a hero.
that little interaction between Guy Gardner and Make a Move, Big Blue. That whole little bit, I kind of liked that.
Yeah,
I thought there was.
What do you know about Hawk Girl besides the fact that she screams? What do we know about her?
She has a connection to Hawk Man.
She did
I
get a
didn't-
little bit of the shaft in this movie. I agree
I
with
didn't
that.
even know
Like,
that
she,
she was dream.
yeah.
we don't really need to know anything about the Justice Gang. Their purpose is not to be main characters. Their purpose is to be the other heroes in the movie.
So okay, so if they're not supposed to be the main characters, then why were they the main characters?
They weren't the main characters. They're barely in the
Superman
movie.
is the main character.
Fantastic did nearly everything.
He did the brain work.
It was more a Mr. Fantastic
Terrific.
movie than it was a Superman movie.
Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific.
Fantastic's nice.
He's called him so many different names.
It was more a Mr.
Well,
Terrific.
Don't
Black
forget
guy.
Rhino. He's like what, 5 shots, 6 shots
Yeah,
in?
Yeah,
That's
that
a
black
different movie.
superhero in the film.
Oh, and the rest.
Can I say something about Mr.
One
Terrific?
black
'Cause
guy,
I
you're getting
fucking
his
loved
name
him.
wrong. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I loved him in the
everybody
movie.
except.
But he was
Mr.
still
Mr.
more. He was
Terrific was
still,
great.
I'm still
I
not
have-
wrong.
I
He
have a
was
quick-
still
I have a
more,
quick
more of a
question.
main character than Superman was in this.
No, I don't
Not
agree
even
with that.
close. Not even
Oh,
close.
come
What
on.
are you?
Wait, hold on a second.
Oh,
Let me
let's not talk so
hold
much,
on,
man.
wait. Let me read this super chat. Ministry of Wrong thing, and I'm sorry that I didn't pull this up before you left. Man. Sorry. I will copy and paste this and ask him next week. But
Yeah.
in other news, Endymion, did you hear Bungie added a weapon ornament in Destiny 2 that requires a flawless 7 win in a row trials run in order to unlock it
Ooh.
in the Eververse store as a $10 microtransaction
That's
in order
rough.
to attain.
Nah, that's some bullshit. That's like
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know if y'all
rough.
ever ran trials back in the day.
I did.
But that's
Yeah.
like if you got
did
the,
too, yeah.
the pistol
I'm
and you just
I'm
had to
just
pay
gonna call
$10
him-
to get the pistol. Nah,
I'm
fuck
just
that.
I
gonna
gotta
call him Mr.
say-
Fantastic for the of it.
Bungie, is anybody even really paying attention to them anymore outside of
Dude,
like
Destiny
when they
2
do
has
some
lost
shit?
more than 95% of their player base.
Yep.
Nobody's really checking for that shit.
Well, they
'Cause
basically said the
ruined
game
it.
was dead for a second. They were like, "Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the game's dead," and everybody's like, "Okay, we're leaving." And then they didn't do anything to bring anybody back. So
I used to be a
Yeah.
hardcore Destiny player.
So was I. Played the
Me
shit
too.
out of Destiny 1.
me too.
Played
Yep.
the shit out of that game.
Yep. I played the shit out of Destiny 2 for a while.
I did
Yeah, I
too
played
for a minute,
shit.
yeah, and then I just
Yeah.
dropped off. The
I
problem
know,
with
yeah, I know.
Destiny,
He's a
is you
fag.
need.
Well, not that Destiny, but yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we're talking about the video
Yeah,
game.
dude. I was about to say, but I had
sorry,
to
fuck.
It's a fair point, though. It's true
Dude.
statement. You're dropping
Honestly,
truth bombs.
I'm so drunk right now. I'll just leave you to it.
See,
That's
that's
so
why
good,
Chad.
bro.
That's why we put up the $100 goal. Rhino's ready for another shot.
Yep.
But
I am.
Destiny. The problem with Destiny is you really need a solid crew that you play with every week in
Yes.
raids, because even a 1 week link, one of those regular, let's just get a
Do
random
an LFG, you know.
fuck will
Yeah.
cost you an hour in time.
Yep.
Because they're not synced with your group. You got to play with the same people, and it takes a
Yep.
minute to find that crew.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
you gotta do
I agree.
nightfalls and strikes and crucible and all that. Yeah, used to be fun. Now it's gay. They turned
Yeah,
the
it
two
is.
most
But when
masculine
you're rolling,
characters in the game
when
gay.
you're rolling with 7 people in Destiny that are all, was it 6 or 7? I can't remember the
It was
exact number.
6.
6.
Yep.
When you're rolling with 6 deep, playing together all the time, you can
Fucking
finish
Destiny
raids in
has been
20
16.
minutes. Done. You do the whole raid in 20 minutes. It's
Destiny
crazy
has
the difference
18
between a normie that you don't play with and the crew you do. Because one wink link in that game, man, you're spending an hour and a half
Dude,
trying to get through.
I've been in a
a raid.
I
Crota
heard you
raid
right
for 6
on, that's pretty
hours,
good.
so I understand.
I agree. Dark Tide is better. Dark Tide's better than Destiny.
That's wild. I don't agree with that, but
The only
No.
Destiny I ever played.
Mike, your
was
hair
Can
is
we
wild.
play
It
them,
takes the
Mike?
whole camera up.
I don't
Yeah,
even
it
know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I was like, I'll do it. Yeah, it's a dream come true.
Destiny's had 6 deep in him.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
true. He
for
sucks
sure.
cocks. He admits it. I think some dude did he leak pictures or some
Some
shit.
He
Leaked
last
video.
year?
Like, he did a
Yeah,
video.
there
actually.
was a
I think it's a
video,
video. Yeah,
Yeah.
You
I
should've
remember
just
I
put one
opened
of
up
those
Twitter and it
fucking-
was the first thing that I saw. It was a terrible
Yeah,
day.
man.
Just put one of
This
those
is true
shit-
too. I don't need a condom. The baby
one
will
of
get
those
real
brain
condom.
beards on him for what's that other dude's name that pegged himself
yeah.
God, it was
with the
awful.
beard.
It was a bad day. It was a bad day. on
Mr.
the internet.
Burger for 20. The bottom line:
Yo,
Superman
Mr.
or any
Burger.
IP catering to a Gen Z is a waste of money. 50% of Gen Z is broke, ignorant, and anti-American. Support Mr. Burger cartoons. Gen Z, Mr. Burger Mega Trivia, Flashcast.
I agree with a lot of this sentiment, but here's the thing about this, and this is where I had to come to terms with this too, is like, you know, I had to kind of get used to this idea of that Superman is somebody who's in like his late to mid 20s or early 30s usually, right? So
30.
yeah, that's my point though, is like what generation would he be then? We have to just accept that, guess what? Superman is going to move on a little bit. You know, like, yes, as long as his core values stay the same, that's all that matters. Right? Because that was the thing with the Donner film. Because if you go back and watch it without take the nostalgia glasses off, it ages itself in a lot of ways because it is very set in the 70s, right? It was the first time Superman and Lois were allowed to be sexual, right? That was a big part of it too. And the only thing that was different about that otherwise was the world had changed around Superman. He had become a bit more sexy and a bit more modern man in that sense, but otherwise he still held on to his classic values. And that's kind of what I feel we got here too, regardless of
I don't disagree with the fact that Superman, you can sort of evolve Superman a little bit for the times, I guess, so to speak. But at the same time, you don't change the character of Superman. You don't change the character's values or anything like that. And
they've changed his values in the character of Superman in the comics several times.
And again, for my whole thing,
with you don't change it though, but they've changed
the entire plot.
I mean,
I've said it a million times. The entire plot was just him conquering a cancel campaign. That's what it was. So yes, it is for the Gen Z audience because that's what the Gen Z audience cares
It was a
about
big
right
problem.
now.
Well, I have three points I want to make about the Superman. I got to go soon, unfortunately, but 3 points I want to make about the Superman movie. One, I want to point out and emphasize this movie was really, really fun. First of all, second of all,
I agree 100%.
Very, very fun. Second of all, the whole Ma Pa Kent thing being like these kind of like country bumpkins was a big point of this because also Superman / Clark Kent was also kind of a boomer in terms of like technology a little bit, so he couldn't handle it when it came down to social media. He was pretty much stoic in every single battle that he's in, like, very relatively masculine stoic. Most of his emotional scenes are outside of battle. But the thing is with the like he also had no idea how to defend himself against social media or how to emotionally guard himself. He was completely open in that term. So that's why he became so angry and emotional because it wasn't because he was right wing or left wing. It's because he was being punished for doing the right thing. The cost of doing the right thing was too damn high in his focus, in his viewpoint. And then let's see, and then also in with Superman, the let's see. Well, I had 3 points. I forgot the third one, but that was the main one. And was the
third one that was brilliant of this is the fact that Superman makes the choice to be a hero, and he doesn't obey the possible message that his daddy from Krypton may or may not have sent him to conquer and rule. He decides that no, I'm going to be a hero because it's what I want to do, which I actually think is a nice little fu to Smallville, because Smallville for 10 seasons had the voice of Jor-El saying, "I sent you to Earth to save them." Clark, Kal-El, I sent you to Earth. You have to be a hero. And Clark saying, I don't want to. I'm just going to want to be a farm guy and have sex with Lana. It was such a
Lana is pretty hot though.
But isn't that who Jor-El is?
No. Jor-El sent his child to Earth because it was the only planet he could find where a baby, if he was left on his own with no family, no friends, would be able to survive and thrive. He just happened to be lucky enough to be found by the Kents and raised.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the intention wasn't for him to go and conquer them, though.
No, it was just for Kal-El to survive. That was it.
To repopulate or whatever. But I remember my third point, the point about him being stoic at all times. That was more like
that's bullshit.
That's more like Batman. That's what the guy who's like serious all the time. That's Batman. And even in his most like popular stories, Batman here, that him being overly stoic and antisocial is a problem. Like with the Dark Knight Returns, that's a by Frank Miller. That was a big problem there because in the beginning, or relatively the beginning, he has no friends. Everyone has abandoned him essentially. And what was it? Commissioner Gordon, like, hey, you keep up with Dick? Like, no. I don't talk to him anymore. There's another one. The opposite of that is when he is actually emotionally connected to people, which is in the Court of Owls, where he's lost in the Court of Owls. He's lost in that dungeon labyrinth thingy. And then everyone else, because they believe in him, because they love him, go out there and they defend the city that he loves so much. And so the thing is, even with Batman, the stoic one, it's his antisocial behavior is a problem because it's too much. It's too much.
I'm not saying that Superman's got to be stoic all the time, but there was never one moment in this movie where he was like a full-on stoic hero. Like I just don't like. I didn't get the same thing. Like I said, from the plane crash scene in Superman Returns. I didn't get the same moment as in like him just stepping in and the big bad like attacking him and him just standing there like, you think you can beat me? All right, let's just see how this goes down. Like I never got a moment like that from Superman in this movie. And maybe we don't need it. Maybe we don't need it. But I feel like for this kind of movie, with how much he was basically just, it seemed like put down and beaten up the whole time, we needed a moment where he comes in and just goes, no, enough is enough.
Well, how about the fact that he keeps getting back up?
Yeah.
Well, there is elements to that. I don't disagree with that, but
no, I think it is the whole movie is actually that, Rhino, because to me this whole movie is basically that
you don't ever break his will.
So maybe it's built up, but it never pays
which is
off
what he was
then.
trying to do the entire time was break his will.
Exactly.
Okay, but like what I'm saying is, yeah, you could have it where he's constantly beaten down, but it should get to a point where it's like, okay, now I'm powerful enough. Now I'm, I've got my head straight enough that like this is my moment. Like,
Did you not watch the last part of the movie? Because that's exactly what it was.
Kind of does happen. That's defeated engineer.
Brains over brawn.
I was going to say, I tried to say this earlier too when we were all talking over each other. Like, I get it. Some people are saying like he does one of the coolest things in this movie I've seen Superman ever do. He literally beats Ultraman with the engineer. He whips her around and beats the hell out of him.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. He quite literally does.
He beats the engineer that way.
He quite literally flings the engineer into Ultraman.
Okay, he still uses another character to beat the hell out of another character with. That is cool as fuck.
But it's established in the very first scene that Superman loses to Ultraman disguised as the Hammer of Bavaria. He doesn't do anything different. It's not like there's any kind of knowledge that Superman gains on how to beat Ultraman. He just uses crypto to beat him at the end of the movie.
No, the knowledge he gains is that he figures out Lex Luthor is using the cameras to dictate the actions of Ultraman, and then crypto to destroy the cameras so that he has a more fair fight between him and Ultraman.
He gets a plan, and it works. Yeah. He beats him.
Yeah, even though I hate that stupid dog.
I don't see why that doesn't count.
He takes out.
That's what I don't get too. I feel like I'm fighting this uphill battle with you guys. It's like what?
There's not enough time for like Superman to like come up with new tactics or something. It's like he's like, okay, well, I figured out how he's doing it. I take out how this connection to Ultraman. Now I can just defeat this weird automaton thingy with my own strength because he no longer has the mind of Luthor to guide him. So there is something different that happens in the second round.
Yeah, and that's pretty much every Batman story too, because that's usually what always happens to Batman is he usually falters or finds himself in a position where he's, not winning against the bad guy, but then he usually figures out what the hell the bad guy has over top of him, and that's usually how he defeats him. Right?
Dude, as long as he knows what a carpet tucker is.
Hang on. It's Ultraman that is the clone of Superman, correct?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But they establish. See, here's the thing that people forget. No, I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you talk. But the cloning process. So Lex does specifically say that the clone is dumb. That's why he controls him. But I will admit, I wish it'd been with a controller instead of A, B, and that dumb bullshit.
Okay,
but hold on, wait. Hold on, real quick. And then I'll let you talk. They do establish that he does say that despite him being dumb, he's stronger. So he is stronger than.
And they must have did something to him to age faster too, which is probably why he's so mentally deficient.
Okay, yes, but you cannot deny the fact that the calling out the controller moves is absolutely ridiculous.
I have no issues with it at all.
It was like
his retard
premeditated,
strength.
right? It was like premeditated Lex knows what's going to happen before Superman even does it.
But
So
they say that in the movie too. They say he studied
Exactly.
his fight.
I don't think
Exactly.
I don't have
So,
a problem with that.
But you
actually.
know,
that's my point.
That's in that's what Taskmaster does. Well,
Right.
What they're supposed to
So
do.
that's my point. They established that early on in the movie. They established it early on in the movie where Lex does that, where he calls out the control to the control panel. Everybody's doing that, and that's fine when he's fighting the Hammer of Bavaria, which is Ultraman.
And can you also keep in mind that this
Leave it
movie
out.
I love how emotional he gets calling out those moves.
So
36B! Ah!
right.
36B!
So
Ah!
my point is they established that early on in the movie. So at the end fight against Ultraman, leave that out. We don't need to see it. We're already communicating with Lex Luthor through the microphones, through Ultraman. We don't need to see Lex in the command center calling out those commands. We can just have Superman and Ultraman fighting each other. We don't need to see
I
that.
think that's fair. I actually think that's really fair. Yeah.
Considering how
And
much is
then
chopped,
when
I'll agree with
does
that.
the
Yeah.
speech,
Yeah.
when he does the speech and then he's like really upset and then he does the 1A, then you could have him doing the 1A. It would be more impactful right there. So yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah.
Lex sitting in a gamer chair with an Atari controller, just the stick.
That would be a little
I would
too
like that
fucked
better,
up.
actually.
Superman 3 not there, right?
Fucking exactly. Script. People be comparing this shit to Superman 3. Then
That was a big pile
Anyways,
of fucking steaming
so
shit to me.
real quick, if I can get to the Ultraman point that I want to talk about earlier.
Oh yeah.
We already talked about how James Gunn took inspiration from Invincible with Jor-El, Viltrumites, and Omni-Man and stuff. James
Well, that's
Gunn,
your speculation.
Almost everybody here
It is
agrees
your
with me.
speculation, though.
I
Almost
kind of do too, but
everybody
because, like I
here
said,
agrees
it's
with
been
me about
established
that.
in the comics too, though. Some of that
So,
stuff.
but
Anyway, go
but
on.
besides that, going to Ultraman, we all know who Ultraman is and how he is in the comics and animation and stuff. What James Gunn did with Ultraman, he pretty much mixed the boys version of the look of Black Noir and the boys comic book version of Black Noir being Homelander Silver Bullet. That's what Ultraman is in this movie.
He's a Black Noir ripoff
he's
from the
Black Noir.
comics. Because in the comics,
100%.
Ultraman or
He's Homelander.
Black Noir is
Black Noir is a
he's a
Homelander
clone of Homelander. Yeah, you're
Correct.
100% right. Yeah.
So,
Pretty cool.
Ultraman is the.
Stop making good points, Beardo.
Well,
That's a great point, Beardo. Yeah.
So Ultraman in
gotta
this
give it to
movie
you.
is the boys' version of Black Noir. He's Superman's Silver Bullet clone, just like Homelander. But what they do with him is they're going to eventually make this Bizarro, which pisses me the off. Why call him Ultraman then if you're going to make him Bizarro? They're two completely separate characters. Ultraman has his service.
Actually,
hold on. Ultraman,
all right, go ahead.
Ultraman has his service, the Crime Syndicate. That's Ultraman. And then you have Bizarro. Why are you going to then make this Ultraman, who's this Black Noir Superman clone, eventually turn into Bizarro? Why even call him Ultraman in the first place?
I'm gonna give it. The reason that I would give that a pass is because have you watched Superman and Lois?
The TV show?
It's really good.
CW?
It
No,
is
I
very
have
good.
not.
Yeah, it's very good.
It is fantastic. Now the reason why that doesn't bother me is because in that show, Bizarro becomes Doomsday.
Yep.
And it
Okay,
works.
but you
It's
can
actually
say
done
that.
pretty
But I
good.
mean,
So it's the same thing in the Snyderverse with Zod becoming Doomsday.
Well, it's done better in Superman and Lois, but
I've
combining
never seen it,
characters,
so I'm going to believe you. I'm going to take your word for it.
combining the
I do think he's
characters,
going to
that doesn't
become
bother me.
Bizarro, but I don't know about the whole Doomsday.
Yeah,
thing,
he is
but,
going to
like,
become Bizarro, but
Yeah,
my
that's
point
cool.
is that he becomes another
Real quick,
character.
I was just going to say that doesn't mean we won't get another person who will be the de facto real Ultraman or even still be Ultraman. Because remember, even like Metamorphos, they used his original name in the movie. They didn't call him Metamorphos, right?
The Elemental.
Yeah, they called him the Elemental. So, like, I have a feeling there might be some of that kind of wordplay here and there, and maybe there's a guy who's inspired by that, or Lex will have like another Ultraman that is the actual Ultraman in the next time around.
Well, Ultraman is
We
from
don't
another
know, but
universe,
again,
so
But
yeah.
real quick,
doing a multiverse,
Mike,
maybe we'll see him. But it's not.
Beardo, you got to watch Superman and Lois, dude. That
I'm
show,
sure I do. Yeah.
that show is great, man. That's the
first
best
episode is phenomenal, dude.
So
I was
with
that show is the best modern Superman show.
Yep.
So-
Absolutely.
This is the best Superman. anything that we've had probably since
I like Tyler Hoechlin as an actor. And I've seen
Dean
some...
Cain's show.
Right.
Unfortunately, I have to get going. But thanks for inviting me on. Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun talking nerd stuff again, not having to, wade too.
Before you
deep into
go,
the
Lit Dev,
bookstore.
I actually had a question I wanted to ask everybody real quick because I know there's some people who keep saying that Mr. Terrific keeps saving Superman's ass in this movie, right? Well, here's one thing I would posit is, would everybody be saying the same thing, do you think, if it was Batman? Because if you stop and think about it, everything Mr. Terrific does in this movie is basically what Batman would do.
Yeah, you could like switch out Mr. Terrific Batman, kind of, yeah, a little bit in the technological sense.
As far as tech goes, I can see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, all that kind of shit. Like, he almost completely fills the same role.
If
it was a Batman,
Superman and Batman film, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But
I feel like Superman gets
Batman's-
kind of outshined in his own movie by Mr. Terrific, and that was my problem with it.
If the
Well, that's kind of
movie
why I'm
was
asking,
called
Epic
The
Mike, would you be
World's
saying the same
Finest-
shit if it was Batman? Yeah.
If it was a movie labeled Superman,
I don't think
and
that's
Batman
a
shows
bad
up in it,
thing,
yes.
though.
Now,
I don't
if
think
it's a
that's a
movie
bad thing.
that
How
sets
many-
up that it's a team up of those two, no, not really.
If it
Okay,
was
so here's my
called
How many
with that.
movies
Batman
out there
and
that have gotten
Superman-
spin-offs because
Well,
everyone
let me
liked the
finish real quick because I
character?
anticipated that answer, and I pretty much figured you'd say something like that. But here's the reason why I think they didn't do that. Because if it was Batman, it'd be distracting as hell. And every time we're dealing with Superman in Superman's movie, we're going, "Where's Batman?"
Yeah, it'd be like he would definitely steal the spotlight a lot more than Mr. Terrific did. Absolutely.
Literature Devil. Oh wait! Literature Devil's got to go. So let him.
yeah.
I think he wanted to say
I
some
wanted him to
things.
give an answer. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for letting me on. Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed talking nerd stuff and not the woke stuff like usual. It's just weighs down on the soul a little bit. So talking this normal nerd stuff and about Superman was fantastic and a lot of fun. Superman is my guy. But thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. And you all have a fantastic night.
Hey, later, man.
See you, brother.
Take care.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Real quick to answer Tom's question, if you swap Mr. Terrific with Batman, the title of the movie is still Superman. Now, if you make the difference where the title of the movie is World's Finest or Batman and Superman, then there'd be more of an understanding of why Batman would do it and maybe steal some of the spotlight for it. The movie is Superman. So to have Mr. Terrific steal some of the spotlight, and especially in that one scene where Mr. Terrific shields Lois Lane, and he's things up and he's doing the whole thing with the spheres and stuff. And awesome scene. I think the music is out of place. I think that's a James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy movies out of place a little bit.
That's one I agree with you on. I wasn't like some of the music in this I was kind of turned off by.
It was musical cues. It wasn't actual musical score. That was a disappointment.
Yeah, see, this is the first time he's used original music. Keep this in mind. I just want to say this real quick on that. This is the first time James Gunn has used original music. I found that out because I was like, what is this music? So I had to kind of look into it. So all the songs in this, none of the songs in this movie are anything from anything before. Because remember, everybody was anticipating a Guardians of the Galaxy style like mixtape with this, and he's like, don't expect that.
That was the one scene that felt like Guardians, though, because
I
of the
agree with you.
music. Because of the music. The music was out of place, I think, for that scene.
I agree with you.
Badass scene, great scene. I love seeing Mr. Terrific do that. Great scene. Music
Especially
was out of
compared to the
place.
score, because I agree with you guys that they don't use enough of the superhero score, but like the rest of the score I thought was really good. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. I didn't like at the end of that scene, Lois Lane has been dating Superman for some time now. Superman is awesome. He's the most powerful metahuman. Lois Lane sees Mr. Terrific in action, and she's like, "Oh my god!"
Well, I think that makes sense though, because they just see
Mr.
Mr.
Terrific. That
as-
was
I didn't have a problem with
awesome.
Lois's reaction.
They just
I'm
see him
so
as the
horny
nerd,
right
though. That's-
now. It's like,
that's why.
come on, give me a
makes sense.
break.
I don't think
Makes
she's
sense,
horny for
dude.
him. No,
You just
but
see
I get
Mr.
your
Terrific as the smart guy, the guy in the chair. You don't really get to see him whoop ass like that. So it was kind of different to see.
I didn't have a problem with
I
Lois's
agree with Kate
reaction.
on that. Yeah.
I don't necessarily have a problem. Like I thought that scene was fine. I agree with you in the fact that it's very Guardians like. You know, you get a bit of those slow-mo motions and stuff like that, moves, and you get to see it. I thought that was completely fine. Like I didn't have a problem with Lois's reaction necessarily to that. I understand what you're saying, but like I don't really think, you know, Lois would see stuff, and yes, obviously she's dating Superman and everything, but I don't know. I mean, I guess if we're talking about a kaiju in the middle of the city, maybe they do see that every second day.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I'm back. Nobody showed their dick, right? Nobody showed their cocks or anything.
Nobody could see it.
All right.
Hang on. If that's the case, then I kind of do agree with Beardo in the fact that maybe she shouldn't be reacting like that.
She shouldn't be so blown
agree.
away.
So
Yeah,
you're talking
she
about
shouldn't be
this is the scene. I'm sorry, it just came back, but the scene where he's talking to Lois while the dimensional creature is getting fought against the Justice Society.
No.
I like
We're
that.
talking when they first got to the desert, when they're at the camp, and Mr. Terrific has to fight off about 20 of these Lex soldiers, and he shields Lois and he fucks things up. And then the shield goes down, and Lois is like, "Oh my god!" She's like blown away by what she just seen by Mr. Terrific. It's like, you're dating Superman. Like, why are you?
It's still pretty cool to see a normal human do that.
Established,
He's not a Superman, dude.
It was established multiple times in this movie that it is something that they see every day. They see Mr. Terrific.
That is fair.
Yeah, but maybe you don't get to see Mr. Terrific fight like that, though.
That is totally fair, but I agree with
years.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
that's the reason why I can see where Beardo's right in this is that if it isn't a common occurrence that these superheroes are out there fucking say, like, remember when Superman's like, oh no, they've got it, it's in another dimension or something, like they've got this under control. Like,
And she didn't react because she knew he was right.
Well,
no,
here's
They say people all the time, dude.
Hang on. Why is she reacting in such awe when Mr.
Because she's seen them up close. They're probably celebrities of that world.
No, but she's seen this up close before.
Not necessarily. We don't know that, and that's kind of where I was going to come in with this, and I think that that's part of it. Like, because I agree with you for the most part. She should not be acting this way. You're probably right. But the only excuse that I can give, and they're as weak as possible, is that A, she's never been that close to the action, and B, Superman doesn't beat people like that up until he goes berserker at the raptor scene. So he's never really kicked the shit out of anybody the way she's seeing Mr. Terrific do it. And
I can understand. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah. No, I agree with you in that part that, yeah, she should not be acting that way because you and Steph are right. We have been established that this world, that for decades, that metahumans have been a part of this world, and she's been dating Superman for 3 months and known him.
And she's a journalist that's been covering all of this stuff.
Yes, so there's kind of that I will say is kind of a weakness in the writing.
I suppose it's because
I think, but hold on.
She was excited.
No,
we don't know why she was
you're
excited
saying
watching
she wants
Mr. Terrific do that thing.
She wants to do that thing.
She wants some of that BBC.
She wants some Mr.
Once
Terrific.
once you go blackface, you never go back.
She wants fair play, baby. Come on, let's go.
What is with the blackface on Mr. Terrific though? I don't get that.
I don't know, but I thought it was cool.
No, that's his costume. That's
I thought it was.
I've never known this character.
That's
I liked
that's
it.
one of the best versions I've seen of that because I kind of dig that it actually had texture and stopped
Yeah, it
it
looked good.
as
Yes. Yeah.
Well, and here's
if
my
they
thing.
if they do that spin-off show, I'd like to watch that.
This is why I
Please,
was
God,
asking about.
don't turn it into some kind of Black Panther bullshit.
This is part of
Just
the
make
reason why I
a
was asking
normal
the-
superhero show.
Yeah.
Please,
this is
God,
a normal superhero.
do that.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
part of the
I
reason
think
why I
they're
was
making-
asking the Batman question too, is because at the same time, besides the whole it'd be too distracting, the other side of it is I'm somebody who never even knew who the Mr. Terrific was, knew anything about him before this movie. But like you guys just said, I would if you told me there's a Mr. Terrific show, with this guy, I'm there.
So I got you, Tom. I got you. I got the answer for you. There's 3 comic book animation movies. It's the Crisis on Infinite Earths animated movies.
Okay.
Mr. Terrific plays a big role in those movies, and they're awesome. They're awesome. The Crisis.
I'll try to check them out.
There's 3 different movies. They're really great. To finish off my Ultraman topic about it is they called him Ultraman, even though whether he's going to wind up being Bizarro or he's dead, who knows, because we don't know because of how the movie ended. Ultraman exists. Ultraman is a multiversal version of Superman who is the leader of the crime syndicate.
Crime Syndicate, yeah.
Yep. So Ultraman is an actual character. So let's say this universe, this James Gunn universe, is full steam ahead. Let's go. We're going to have 10 to 20 years of this thing. You're already calling this version of Bizarro Ultraman. What happens if we get so far down the line, we want to introduce the crime syndicate, and now we have the real Ultraman when we already established a previous Ultraman in the first movie? That's why I don't like them calling this guy Ultraman. Give him a different name. Give him a different name, a unique, original name. If he's going to wind up being Bizarro, just make something up. Why call him Ultraman if down the line we're eventually going to get to the crime syndicate and Ultraman?
Are we?
He's gonna
I have
say
no
this-
idea.
Yeah, he's gonna. We don't know.
No, and that's what I'm saying. We don't know. We don't know.
Oh, I get you.
You could just
But
use the
why?
Injustice Superman.
But
people.
why
I don't.
call him Ultraman if eventually maybe we're going to
You
get
don't need
there?
to use him. You could just do
I
the
can actually provide an
Injustice.
example for this because I know what as a screenwriter, this is what we do. Is like we don't know if we're ever going to see Ultraman, but we do know that there's going to be fans who are going to know the name Ultraman and they're going to make assumptions and speculations. And why not have fun with that?
Didn't he get
Because
thrown
again,
into
you're
the
gonna have
black hole?
Well,
hold on.
I agree with you
That's
actually,
Trish.
but as soon as the moment the Fortress of Solitude doors opened for Lex, I
Yeah,
knew
I already knew what it was.
Ultraman.
Yeah, everybody has
Yep,
to.
there's a clone or some bullshit.
but here's-
100%.
Ultraman is still the same DNA as Kal-El.
Clark. Yeah.
Clark. It's the
You
same
could have called
DNA,
him.
but different
You could have
universe.
called him Wombat Man. It doesn't
I
matter.
agree,
The
but here's the
moment
reason-
the
That's
doors
my
open
point.
up,
That's
yeah.
my
I
point.
think I know why he's
Make an
named
Exactly.
original name. Make
Let
an
me-
original name for
Beardo,
this
Beardo.
character that's going to eventually
some
be Bizarro.
dude in a mask
I get
that
where you're
is
coming
all
from.
mysterious
That's my
and the
point.
doors open.
Let me
Yeah,
give
it's
you-
a clone or some bullshit.
Let me put this out there though. Like, here's the thing with Lex. Here's the thing if you haven't noticed in the movie, and this is established in the movie, so you can't say I'm just grasping at straws here. He has like his trademark names for everything. So who's to say he's not going to use Ultraman again? And if he doesn't use Ultraman again, it makes complete sense that he would call this guy Ultraman because the other guy's name is Superman. So this guy's better than Superman. He's Ultraman. So like that's the thing. So if he's going to use it again, he might come back and give the whoever the ultimate Ultraman. He'll be like, "That's your new moniker," because that's one of my trademark things that I use. So like, you
I
get
just
where
want
I'm
to point
coming
out,
from.
people, this using Ultraman here is just as bad as using Doomsday and Batman vs Superman.
That may be fair, but I think the name just being
Yeah,
put
that's a
out there
trash
is-
movie. Why are we
No.
bringing that up?
No,
Yeah,
but it's just he did the same thing.
Ah,
He
okay.
used
Yeah, I
a
see what
major
you're saying.
character, a
He's
major
used
villain,
in that
character, yeah.
part. You're
and
correct.
as a
But my
throwaway
point,
character in
but
a
I-
movie.
Get
Beardo
my
doesn't know what to
counterpoint
do
to
now
that.
because he
no.
loves that movie.
No,
Because here's the thing, the
Mike,
Raptors-
Mike is
That
furthering
movie sucks
my point.
shit.
Mike, my
movie,
Batman
point.
but
versus
I think
Superman
that's
so
a
much.
bad call. I think it's a bad call to use Ultraman there and waste him. And if it's an amalgamation
it's
of
not
Bizarro and
Ultraman.
Ultraman, it's a bad call. And you're right, it is not
Fair enough.
Ultraman.
But here's
It's
my
not
point. Are you
Ultraman.
guys
That's
getting
my
my point
point.
though? Are you guys getting my point though? Because like,
I
Yeah,
get
it
what you're
makes
saying.
sense,
Yeah.
but-
because the Raptor suits. Look at the Raptor suits. You know what they look like? They look like Lex's suit that he
They look
eventually
like early
wears.
versions of Lex.
So these are all, like I
Yeah.
said, this is like Alexa's cop, like his trademark shit. So when he comes back, he's gonna come back with a vengeance, and he's gonna be full on Lex Luthor, and I think he will have
Correct.
another Ultraman. So I don't
Yeah.
think that I would freak out yet, and he's just gonna
Well-
call him Ultraman again. So,
No,
yeah.
but also real quick too, and I know Beardo's going to agree with me about this, and I know he's going to back me up on this. Isn't it funny that like the storyline about Superman involved in international incidents and being called out and people
It's BVS.
deciding
Oh, please
it's all
stop.
BVS
It's
Superman
I already know
story.
where you're
Yeah,
going
it is
with
BVS.
this.
Lex
Let's
Luthor,
not.
It's
setting the
BVS.
plot up to
Let's not
discredit
do it.
Superman's whole
It's BVS.
yeah.
100%. It's BVS.
searching for people that he loves so that he can use them against Superman to make him crash
Except
out.
in this
Yes.
one, there's an actual altercation, and they don't try to frame Superman for shooting people like they did.
Right.
in
They don't
Batman
frame
versus
Superman for shooting people.
No, that is quite literally
There's
what
pretty
they
much
That's
did.
not what they
But
framed
to be
Superman
fair-
for. They
but to be
framed
fair-
Superman for
They did.
burning a bunch of bodies with his laser vision.
So my
With
gripe,
bullet holes in them.
real quick, my gripe is that James Gunn has the Bible. He has it. He has everything DC under his wing. Why call this version of Ultraman, the Superman clone, who's probably going to eventually be Bizarro?
100%.
Why call
Yeah, that
him
makes sense, though.
Ultraman?
Right.
I think
That's
just
the only-
I
my
think
only-
just for the I think
give
just
him
for
a
the
my only
point.
name.
I have. So
Why
I'll give you
why call
one,
that
but-
dumb bitch in Black Widow Taskmaster? It's just a
The best defense I can give it is that it's Lex's like trademark, and we're probably going to see either another version of Ultraman that is closer to the other one, or Like Script is saying they just know that we're
like Script Doctor said, it's a reference. It's a great reference.
It might just be a
gonna make
reference
people
at the end of the day.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's
Wait,
it's
do
for
y'all
fan
think that they're
speculation to
gonna,
think that it's a Earth 3 Superman that is working for Lex, and then the reveal is no, it's a clone. And then people are going to say, well, it's probably Bizarro because Superman the animated series had a clone of Superman be Bizarro. Superboy the series had a clone of Superman become Bizarro, as opposed to the other version, which is Bizarro is just from another world where Earth is a square and everybody talks backwards, and he ends up just finding his way to our Superman's Earth.
Well, because he's probably going to open up another dimensional thing, right? Like he's not done with that. So the next thing you know, his next step besides finding a pocket universe is actually going to a complete other universe, which is what you're basically saying, Script, right? So like, and again, that's what I'm saying. If he finds another Superman, he'll just put him in the same kind of suit and call him Ultraman. Like that's what he does. That's what Lex does. It's like,
that's what I'm saying is the problem.
I agree with you in that sense that it.
That's what I'm saying is the problem is, and I don't think that this clone that's the Ultraman, I don't think that he died because we don't see him die. He got thrown into a black hole.
I agree with you there. Yeah,
I don't think he died. Because the movie didn't show us that he died. We didn't see a body, so we can assume that he's not dead. Why call him Ultraman? That's my gripe. Is why call him Ultraman? Especially since you guys are saying, Tom and Script are saying, eventually we're going to get into multiverses and stuff where there could be a real Ultraman. It's going to get confusing and convoluted.
I don't know if that's going to be the direction or not. But
Based on the assumption that Superman was so afraid of actually falling into this black hole that it would possibly kill him, isn't it a fair assumption to say that this Ultraman is
He's
dead? It is a fair assumption.
No,
but it also
not a Superman
Beardo
clone.
is right. And the problem in this, in the problem with comic book movies is if you don't see a body, and even if you do see a body, it's
not a
fucking
guarantee
dead.
of death. Yeah, it's not a guarantee of death. But the
If
thing is,
if I can interject very quickly,
sure, Mr.
Berger, how you doing?
Oh
how
my
you
gosh.
doing, Rhino? Honor and pleasure being on here with all you guys. I know it's just another Saturday for you, but it's a big deal for me. But if I can say something real quick.
Hey, hold on a second. Hey,
Huh?
mods, you see that Crash Override account, ban it when he pops back up. Enjoy that ban, faggot.
If I can say something very, very quickly, this has been the most entertaining, awesome Flashcast since the Director X one. I didn't think that there could be a better Flashcast than Director X when Tom literally almost came through the screen and choked that out. This has been as entertaining and as awesome as that one, maybe even more so. Awesome. If I just can interject as a fan speaking from the chat, it is a great honor to meet everybody here. Thank you, Flash, for having me on.
What about Mr. Berger, man? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Berger, have you seen the movie? Have you seen Superman?
I haven't. I've seen it. I didn't pay for it.
Okay.
I have an issue
like me
with James Gunn. I don't like giving James Gunn money for anything.
Did you
understand.
like it?
Huh? Did I like it?
Did you like it?
Not really. I thought it was entertaining.
Okay.
And I had big issues with the I guess pandering to the Gen Z narrative. I like the Flash. Tom are right. The casting was excellent. It was great. You couldn't. He did a great job with that. The aesthetic was great. The environments were great. The fight scenes were kind of okay, and the visuals coming from somebody who's been doing that type of work for 32 years, 631 commercials, 3 feature films I've worked on, visual effects, motion graphics. The effects were not great.
There's
and
some
I don't care
bad
what
CGI in the movie.
Yeah,
particularly
CGI,
there's one scene in particular that I remember clearly, and that's when the kaiju is there and the Justice Gang shows up, and Guy Gardner goes into a flying pose and accelerates towards him. I was like, that is bad. That looks terrible.
Yeah.
Honestly, in that same scene, Flash, Mr. Terrific sitting, the position he's in when he's floating looks real weird.
Yeah, there's a few
Bruce
times
Lee.
with the flying with Guy Gardner. For some reason, just Guy Gardner specifically. Because you're not wrong. I agree with you there.
That's actually kind of what I don't understand about the industry right now is how much effects have actually regressed. Like they've gone backwards. Like you think about some of the stuff that you've seen in the past that's actually better than what they're getting now. But then you think about how much they're investing.
You know why I
in
think
it,
that
and
is?
how can you invest? Let's say
Tom,
it
give you a
is
reason,
let's
and
say it is
I'll give
only
mine.
$200 million. Let's say it is only $200 million or $180 million, whatever they want to call it. Still, you'll be investing still nearly $250 million in this movie, and you can't get it to look good. When
let me tell you this real quick. One of the biggest reasons that the CGI looks so bad in some of these movies is because Marvel, that lesbian executive,
Victoria Alonso.
Yeah, she beat and like slave whipped the CGI people. So now nobody with talent wants to work on these kinds of movies anymore.
Well, the industry has been eroded. And you have this other problem is they're trying to cram 2 or 3 years worth of work usually into 8 months to a year usually. Now, James Gunn is the exception where he plans a lot of his stuff out, but this is where I think some of the cost cutting came in was with the CGI. Because it was kind of rushed, and even though they had close to a year to do this, it still feels like there's some bad spots here. Now, there's some good. There is some very good in some bits here and there because Weta worked on this, but so did ILM. And I'm willing to bet that once this comes out on video, I could probably go through this and tell you which ones Weta did and which ones ILM did, and I'll probably be 80% correct. Because
ultimately,
I guarantee you all the shit shots are ILM and all the good shots are Weta, and it's because of what you guys just said, because everybody just left the industry and went to work for one or the other because they didn't want to work for ILM anymore because they're doing all the Disney shit now. And then you also have anyway, you're going to say,
well, you have this compound issue, right? So,
also with the people that are
Jurassic
using CGI now have been raised with shitty CGI, so that's what they think CGI should look like too.
Right?
Yeah.
Think of it this way: you have in 1993 when they did Jurassic Park, you had a combination of practical effects and CGI effects and limited CGI shots that they spent a year working on. However,
52 shots,
From the perspective of Hollywood executives, and I've talked to them, they say, well, that technology is almost 40 years old. So clearly we've had 40 years of improvement of computers. So we should be able to do 10 times or 1,000 times that amount in the same time frame with it being just as good. And they're 100% wrong.
Ultimately, a lot of it is also cost. They do a lot of what I do and a lot of mid-size studios do, and they outsource to Vietnam, Korea, China, and India. And 50%, Tom, you got a script, you guys are right, but 50% of it is they're outsourcing this stuff to, no offense, to people who barely speak English, who basically know about a third of what they should know to be able to compose the shots. They're using Blender, which is not a knock on Blender, but they're not using paid stuff like Maya. They're not using paid stuff like Lightwave. They're using Blender and Blender co-ops and Blender free desk. It's just not. It's not the same level. Okay.
Yeah, they're not even using Fusion.
No, but you're not wrong, and that's exactly why we've got 50 years of credits now, because they got to list every Korean and Vietnamese animator on there too, and it's just insane how this has gotten to where. And that's one of the reasons why
it's India too, Tom. India's a big issue. A big issue. The animators over here getting $65 an hour. Hell, they're getting $75 an hour in some places. Even the Canadian ones are getting $35 an hour, $45 an hour. But you go to India, you can pay people literally the same wage as McDonald's, and you wonder why the CGI is looking like what it's looking like.
Right,
guys. Real quick, we've been talking about Superman for 3.5 hours. So
damn. Yeah, and sadly, I do have to get going.
I gotta jump into I got super chats. I gotta get.
I got.
You didn't get a chance to explain why Truth, Justice, and the American Way isn't normally like it's like more of a modern. What would you say at script? Because you've pointed this out real quick if you want to before you go, because I know you didn't get a chance to bring that up.
Sure. So I know the writer who came up with Truth, Justice, and the American Way was George Putnam Ludlam, and he did this at the request of the United States War Department after the attacks on Pearl Harbor. And as soon as the Second World War ended on the Superman radio series, they dropped the American Way part because it was no longer about the patriotism. It didn't come back again until
Doesn't mean it's a good thing. I don't like that it's not in there. Superman
I
is
know, I
absolutely
understand
an
that.
American
I have an issue
icon.
with the government inserting themselves into creative spaces like art because
Superman was literally used as World War II patriotism propaganda.
Yeah, he was,
and that's what he's getting at. Yeah, and I mean, it depends. Like again, he's just giving you the history
it's just
lesson
fortunate
on it.
that he was on the right side, but I mean, it could have gone another way, and that's why I don't like government getting involved in art. I mean, the other part too is that it comes to the American way is supposed to be the ideal. It goes back to the Constitution of trying to make a more perfect union, but too many generations have said, no, the American way is what America is today now, and it's perfect, and it can't be scrutinized, it can't be made better. It is what it is, and I don't think that's very genuine. I also don't think that goes to what Superman was, which is supposed to be an inspirational, aspirational character of what we could achieve if we just wanted to, if we believed in the values that we had, if we believed in what made this country.
I don't really know about that because even as an Australian, I can identify with truth, justice, and the American way. Just living in a Western country, like
because you understand it's the ideal, right?
Yeah, but I understand that, but I'm just like even with that speech that he gives Lex at the end. To put it in there, I don't think would have been corny at all. I think that it actually would have been really good.
Looking at the numbers, it doesn't look like dropping that was worth it because they're only making 100 million worldwide. If they had kept the American aspect, I think the movie would have really made more money because if you look at Top Gun, like patriotism is all over that movie.
Oh yeah, it would have made 1 ounce of difference, and it would have.
That movie made a lot of its money here, not internationally.
It would have held up.
They would have held that. Yeah, they would have held it up, and it would have made a lot more money. I think.
It would have held
they
up
fucked up not keeping that money.
Standard that is widely accepted here, whether it's an ideal or it's the truth, it doesn't really matter. It is part of the tradition. And there's nothing wrong whatsoever in my eyes with truth, justice, in the American way, America first, last, and forever. I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. Art is propaganda has always been a thing, and it always will be a thing.
Well, it's been a thing since the 1800s, yes.
And people will suss it out for themselves. So I don't believe. I believe it was a cowardly move. And that's just it. But I
believe
I believe
it's a cowardly move. The fact of the matter is that since Superman's inception, they've barely used that as a catchphrase for his character in the 90 years he's been around. They've used never-ending battle.
Yeah, but most people aren't looking at that. They're looking at like Christopher Reeve. And Henry Cavill
said that in the movie, which was great, and it was actually treated exactly appropriately. He believed in it, and Lois scoffed at it because she made fun of politicians who don't believe in it. And I'm like, that's brilliant. That's exactly how you want to do it.
I think they would have made more money if they'd kept it.
I mean,
James Gunn.
Hard to say. I mean,
it's hard to say
because again, some of the most successful television shows and cartoons of Superman don't use that phrase, and
they weren't allowed to use it during any of the promotion for the movie, other than
they danced around it.
That's not true. That's not true.
They actually
the only person that actually used it was the guy that asked, "Is this the gayest Marvel?"
No, that's not true because Rachel Brosnahan said it, and I think
James Gunn and Peter Safran said it when they announced they were doing the movie.
And more recently, what's his face who plays Guy Gardner? What's his name again? Jesus, Nathan Fillion. He said it too. So yeah.
How can you discount movies like Top Gun, which are full of it and made a lot of money here? I think that's a very underserved market.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
It's a very underserved market that
will
pay for that. And given the numbers internationally, it doesn't seem like it was worth it. I don't think it would have made a difference.
Preach, God damn it. Preach.
Because Top Gun still made money internationally.
Yeah, it was a great movie. It was a great Star Wars movie.
You're leaving money on the table. This country, you serve the audience that you serve the audience that brings you, in my opinion. And that's the reason why Hollywood is failing, because not enough people are doing that.